You are now a loyal follower of the Villain District Podcast.
A Vosh bar.
What have you been into, Vosh bar? Garbage?
So, guys, I learned this because I'm taking a German class right now. And so I learned this. What?
9.
No.
Jake said, no, you haven't.
Yeah.
He's trying to argue with you.
Yeah. Is it yeah? I don't know.
Oma
I have
and
my
Opa.
final exam tomorrow, and I don't know if yes
Well,
is
look,
yeah.
Here's what I do know.
Yeah,
Oma
it is.
and Opa
Yeah, good.
means grandma and grandpa.
Okay.
You're welcome.
I've never heard that. So maybe.
We had a
I had a
German
Oma
exchange
and
student.
Opa. Like, my friends had an Oma and Opa. And they
I've
were
heard Grossmutter and
Grossmutter.
That's the gross grandparent.
No.
That's the in-laws.
Those are the ones you don't want to visit. Yeah. No, but
Their house smells like cabbage.
So Vosh
Sauerkraut, you mean.
sauerkraut. That's right. So Vosh
You have to
bar.
remember my family is Swiss.
When Maggie was asking about a raccoon getting into garbage, Vosh bar means raccoon in German, and it means a little bear that washes itself. It means wash bear. Isn't that awesome?
Do the
Because
thing.
he does the visual, the nonverbal comedy.
It reminds me of what is it, Charmin?
What?
The little Charmin bear?
Yes,
Is that correct?
That should be a Vosh bar.
Mm-hmm.
That should be a Vosh bar.
Because he's using toilet paper to
wanna
wash
know-
it.
Do you want to know
Cleans
what
itself.
I thought?
I'm not really sure I
You
do.
remember the conversation we had the other day about
Nope. Remind me.
if I was gay, I would be a bear?
Oh.
That's true.
So every time I would take a shower, I'd be a Vosh bar.
You would be a Vosh bar. That's true. That is very true.
I like that.
What's up, Joe?
Just got a text from my mom. It says, we are putting Tibby and Leroy on a diet.
Those are
Tibby
cats.
and Leroy, your heydays are over.
Yep.
Oh, no more
They're large.
cheeseburgers.
I hope you enjoyed
In
all that.
charge.
Leroy was always large and in charge.
Hope you enjoyed
He's
all
like-
that kibble.
He's old for a cat.
Yeah?
He's- How old is
is
that?
I don't know, like 12 or 13 maybe.
That's
yeah.
not too bad. All my cats have lived to be like older than 20.
What?
Maybe you
That's
don't know
crazy.
much about cat ages.
Maybe it's cat years. She's
No,
talking about.
It's people years.
Oh.
Wait,
Wait, is
did you,
cat
Maggie?
years
Did
a
you go
thing?
to Did you go to cat college and learn that?
Online.
Good.
Well, cat college online. We all know about that.
Yeah.
It wasn't accredited.
Right.
All right. Let's reel it in.
Yeah, let's reel it back in.
So we've decided,
Yeah.
and I'd like to give credit where credit is due. We've been listening to a lot of the Destination Nation
Yeah.
Network podcasts,
Yeah,
Me
we have.
too.
and they do have some episodes. Well, all of their episodes
Right.
have panels on them for
Right.
the most part.
Right.
So I guess Nerdstalgia, Girl Gone Geek especially have panels. And we thought it would be interesting. I mean, normally what we do is either it's me and Will just talking about stuff,
Yeah.
or we're promoting a new song we've been working on or something like that, or it's an interview, a guest.
Yeah. Featured guest. Yeah.
But we thought Maggie and Jake weren't interesting enough to interview.
That was your
Yeah.
first
Close.
mistake.
Nobody's going to listen to here's the Maggie and Jake episode.
I don't know.
That's
I feel
not
like
true.
we should
Let's
have
do
a
our
branch
own
out.
thing,
just kidding.
Jake.
I'm just
Let's
kidding.
branch out.
I'm
I
just
would-
kidding,
they don't-
guys. Welcome.
we don't
We
need
know.
it.
Here's the thing: if Maggie and Jake did their own podcast,
Yeah.
We would just argue.
I wouldn't
the whole
have.
time,
I
think.
wouldn't feel like
You
I needed
would.
to do a podcast anymore.
No, we'd be done.
Like
Yeah. We would be done.
that's all you would need.
See, that was a super... Let me just say real quick. Let me give credit where credit is due myself.
Okay.
And say that was a super classy move. I wasn't going to say a word. I wasn't going to give a word of recognition to
Yeah.
those jokesters.
Oh.
I was just going to do it.
Well, they've been so sweet to us.
I know they have. It's
Maybe
true.
take a page out
It's
of
true.
the sweet book.
Sweet book. All right. Yeah.
It's a good
No, you're
book.
absolutely right, though. Yeah.
I
We
know.
thought that would be fun to do that.
Mhm.
So we're going to try that. We're going to try a topic-based conversation rather than being like, hey, Maggie and Jake, what are your backstories? Where do you guys come from? We're not going to do that.
We're not interested.
Well,
We're not interested.
I
Don't
was
tell me about
born
yourself.
in all right.
It was a rainy night, and I come raging.
Oh my God! See, we just gave
What
you
a
a sneak
great-
peek,
now,
and
okay.
how good was that?
That is good. I do
Those
want to hear the
episodes-
rest of that
So
at
you
some
re-
point.
you
Yeah.
Yeah, when those
regret?
episodes happen.
Right. Right.
It was a
I will
rainy
say
night.
though, I will say Jake's episode
Yeah.
is still it still gets downloads.
It does.
It's a heavy
Yes.
hitter.
It still does
It's
to this
funny.
day.
You guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's just because you get so real about
You're
like
welcome, really.
your hot
We-
and steamy past. And
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, well, I'm an open book. And really, if I don't talk about it, I just get really depressed. In my
Sure.
you gotta let it out.
Phil and District Podcast therapy sessions.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what it is.
I had to
That's
give you a little bit more juice there on your preamp,
Yep.
Jacob.
Oh,
So hopefully
thanks, man.
people can hear you a little
Oh.
better now.
Yeah.
I
could
can
feel
hear you
like-
better.
Too much. Stop
The little-
talking. Golly, Jake.
Yeah.
He's off the throttle a little bit,
That's
bro.
right.
Sorry.
That's right.
You never know what he's gonna do.
You never
I
know.
don't. I never do know that.
Well, I am from Kentucky. I do have an unbridled spirit, so
Something to consider.
That's right.
That's why all my friends are crazy.
All right, so
That's it.
Let's get a discussion going about this. So my thought, and Joe hasn't shot it down, and so we're recording now. So
Right.
we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
My thought was to do kind of a show and tell,
Yeah.
which is
That's
kind
a
of a
horrible
joke.
idea.
Which is kind of a joke because it's a podcast.
We need to think of something a little better than show and tell, but
right.
That's for babies.
In
that's for
general,
babe.
right.
That's
Right.
what is this?
Yes.
A podcast for
How can they fit inside
Ants.
the? Yeah. Okay.
for Vosh bars.
Nice
Callback.
callback, early callback. So essentially, what we're going to talk about is just what we've been into lately. How to be like us. Go out and watch these things, and listen to these things, and read these things.
I'm sure there's
And
just
this
so
is-
many people that want to be just like us.
Man, you would be
I
surprised.
don't know.
You would be
Maybe, though.
surprised.
I don't know. I make some great decisions in my life.
Yeah,
That's true.
is that true?
I
We
got-
heard about
I
him
got
on
a
the last
haircut the
episode,
other
so
day.
that was
That is a
good.
good decision,
was good.
usually.
So yeah, so we want to talk. Which one do you want to start with, guys? What do you want to talk about first?
So basically, since I'm learning about this right now, kind of, you said,
Right.
what are you watching? What
Yeah.
are you listening to? And what are you reading?
What are
kind
you
of
reading?
thing.
And then if
And
anything
we know
doesn't-
Jake doesn't have anything for reading. That's fine.
Dude, you don't know
One
me.
down.
You don't
One
even,
down.
We don't even live together anymore.
What are you reading?
Stop trying to pretend to be my friend.
What are you reading?
I'm not starting this off.
What are you reading, Jake?
What are you reading, Jake?
Nothing. I've already read
Just
it
say,
all.
just say the paper.
The
No.
paper.
The correct answer is always the Bible,
Right.
The Bible.
Oh.
Every time. Every time.
front to back,
Front
Make
to
my
back.
mother proud.
cover to cover.
It is a
Alpha
epic
to
read.
Omega, if you will.
I won't.
Anyway.
I've been reading a lot of news.
Oh yeah, what's going on? What's going on locally, Jake?
Something happened with people getting married or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It didn't really catch my attention, and it didn't seem like that big of a deal, so I just kind of let it go.
Didn't seem like you'd have to change anything you're doing, so it's fine.
Doesn't
That's not
affect
it
me.
didn't seem to affect me any.
Right.
So
That's
I
not
Oh
what
wasn't
I
God,
heard.
I wish
worried about
other
it.
people would do that.
That's not what I heard.
Hey,
What'd you heard, turd?
I heard that you were what they call a bear.
I've been reading into him, trying to figure that out.
what? I don't know.
What?
I'm not sure. All right, I'm reining it in.
Okay.
What have we been watching lately? And we haven't taken time to think about this, so we'll see how this comes out. Would you like to start, Joe?
I do have the
You do
alpha
have
mic.
You do have the biggest mic in the room. Let's just be honest.
So I finally caught up
Well,
and binged watched the second half of season 1 of Flash.
oh yeah,
Finished it.
nice,
Boom.
nice,
Done.
well done.
And I will say, I know you were saying, dude, Flash is just like, it's really like putting Arrow to shame right now.
Right.
I'm like,
Yeah,
speak not, William, of Oliver, that in such a way.
right. Yeah,
Totally, man.
that is a
Second half of
right. Isn't it
Flash
so good?
was righteous.
Yes.
Very good.
Did you watch that, Jake? Are you up on that? Okay.
He thought he
Fair
was like 1.5, 2
I thought it
episodes
was
from
like-
the end. We counted.
Oh.
He's like, there's like 8.
enough. Okay.
Yeah, me and Joe had dinner yesterday, and we had a
Uh-huh.
little time before we went down to Waterfront.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm an episode and a half away from the end. I said, that's probably where I'm at.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, we'll figure it out when we get there.
Yeah.
So he's going to watch it. And turns out I'm really far from the end.
Right. You thought it was one of those like Netflix seasons, like 10 or 12
Yeah.
episodes, and it's
22,
like
right?
22, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
a
will
ton.
say, something that Flash is doing right now. First of all, they're utilizing
spoilers. Maybe should we say that?
No, I don't want to spoil it for Jake.
Oh yeah,
I was
right.
gonna say,
So you haven't seen
I'll
it.
take one for the team, but I'd rather you
Right.
not.
Okay. Well,
So
let's not.
I
then.
will say they're really utilizing great, solid aspects of the character.
Yes.
What he's capable of.
Yep.
And I saw Iris West, Candace something.
Yep.
At a little con with my dad a few weeks back. And she was basically saying that the way the writers approach the show is if they have a great idea,
Yeah.
they just do that. And they say there other great ideas will come. Don't save it for season 3.
Oh, that's great.
It's we
Yeah.
have a great idea. Put it in this season.
Yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I
That's
mean?
cool.
I think
That
that's
is-
a good strategy.
And
Yeah.
it shows.
It
It's
does
great.
show. Yeah.
They toy with a lot of complicated. Well, I will say, hopefully this isn't too big of a spoiler, but they mess with time travel,
Right.
Because that's what the character's based on is
Yeah.
time travel.
I know about the Flashpoint paradox. So
Right. Righteous.
Nice.
whoa,
Well done.
whoa! Did I just blow your nerd's mind right there?
This fella was born on a chicken farm.
This
I know this
guy.
isn't the deadliest catch, but I know a little something about it.
That's really
But
funny.
I think they're doing a great job with it,
Yeah, for sure.
and I'm really excited for season 2. Hopefully, season 4 of Arrow is a little better than the second half of season 3 was.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard. But you know, I didn't finish Arrow because you told me your thoughts on it, and I was like,
You can't
yeah.
finish anything.
I know, that's true. I'm a quitter. And so, but nevertheless, when you were telling me you had
I'm
like,
dressed for the occasion.
that's good. Okay. So when you told me you had like 5 episodes,
Hey,
yeah.
that's Sum 41, son.
Oh, I know. I know that.
That's Sum 41. Call back. Call back to early life.
That's right. That is true.
To
I remember
childhood.
that. Loved it.
I'm sorry.
Loved it.
Continue.
Yeah. So when you told me you had like 5 episodes left of The Flash, and I could think of 3 episodes that I knew were really good, that's a good sign in a season
Yeah.
with 22 episodes. You know what I mean?
See, that stuff,
how you know
stuff
there's
like
good.
The Flash and the Arrow and Gotham, that all just kind of runs together for me as like one giant movie.
Really?
Yeah, so I
okay.
just really don't know.
You don't know
episode for
what's
episode.
going
That's
on.
why I thought I was an episode and a half away from the end.
Okay. So
What
I'm
he's trying to
sorry.
say is he doesn't really pay much attention.
right.
No,
Okay,
I
I'm
pay
sorry to
attention.
have to ask this question, but
It's okay.
in any realm, is that in the same universe? Air quotes.
Arrow and Flash
Arrow
are.
and Flash
Okay.
are.
There are
See, I thought
there
there
are
were some
crossovers.
crossovers.
Yes.
I haven't seen very much of it, but I.
Gotham is
I
actually
predicted the
takes
future on that one.
Gotham takes place in a different.
Yeah.
Like it takes place when Bruce Wayne's a boy.
Kid.
He's a boy and
Got
stuff.
it.
And
So-
the understanding is that there's probably Batman and Superman happening somewhere, but
yeah. In the Arrow Flash.
in the Arrow and
yeah.
Flash, yeah.
Yeah.
Got
and
it.
there's some talk. They're starting a Supergirl show. I think I showed you the preview for it. And there's talk of that crossing over maybe, but I think it's
Right.
still tentative.
Well,
I don't
it's
know about that.
Yeah.
It's
different
starting to get a little hairy once you add a third show.
Well,
into
see,
it,
I've
right?
heard people say
Well, they
absolutely.
already are. They're doing
Oh, yeah,
Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so then you would be adding 4 shows in there. My mind is
Right.
blown right now
Can
just
I
talking
just
about it.
But one more thing about the Flash, and honestly Arrow as well, because Arrow has done a decent job of this.
Yeah.
And the thing that I think that DC right now is destroying, that Marvel has had in the past a little bit more trouble with,
Yeah.
other than Daredevil,
Right.
is the fact that the villains, and this is kind of a callback to a Nerdstalgia or a Nerdstalgia episode that I
yeah?
listened to recently.
Yeah.
But the villains, especially in Flash, are so like 3-dimensional.
Oh, okay.
The big bad in Flash is like, even when he's doing terrible stuff at the end, and he's like so likable. You just like you
Right.
and I think we can thank shows like Breaking Bad, where the protagonist is essentially the antagonist as well.
Yeah.
This anti-hero kind of mentality.
Yeah, I mean, and it's kind of cool because it's sort of like a rising tide raises all boats or whatever, you know, like the fact that you have such good shows out there with these totally 3-dimensional characters means even like what some people would consider, you know, it's a CW show, whatever.
Right.
They're having to be like, no, we need to up our game.
Well, and also because people can relate to it. They can relate to the anti-hero.
Right.
Like, personally, I can't relate to, like, Superman. But I can relate to somebody
real,
like
though?
Bruce Wayne.
You can,
I can relate to Superman. I mean, look at this body.
right? I mean, I see that though. That makes sense. But you can't.
know.
Yeah. Anyway, No, you can't relate to Superman because we didn't even make it through Man of Steel. And
No, I did not enjoy that. I was like, do we have
didn't
to
make
finish
it.
this? This is
She's like, this
terribly
is really not
cheesy.
good.
I don't know that I can talk to you about movies anymore because you didn't like Mad Max either.
I liked it okay.
No, now you're changing your tune because people are
No,
listening.
I've had a little time of reflection. It was okay.
But there's
but
another
also, I didn't love it.
another thing about Mad Max though. Like, well, I guess is that a squeak? Is that a door?
Sorry, that's
It's
my
Jake's chair.
Oh, I keep hearing that.
It's a mouse.
Again, the protagonist, Mad Max.
Yeah.
He's not necessarily like the likable hero.
Yeah, yeah,
No.
sure.
It's almost like he's just thrown into it. And
It wasn't him that bothered me, though.
This because of my morals.
I liked it. I
'Cause I
liked the
still
film
have
as a
morals.
whole. I liked the action element of it.
Yeah.
I liked the visuals were amazing. But yeah, I don't know. Something about it just sort of irked me. I guess I had never seen the first Mad Max film, so I came into it with a different set of expectations. I knew it was going to be this like crazy, thunderous, epic movie, but I didn't think that it would... I don't know. I didn't know any of the backstory. I didn't know what to expect.
Right.
And everyone was calling it this like feminist,
Of course they were. They
film.
called like the first 5 films, or all the 5 films that came out that week were a problem for someone.
No. They were saying this was not a problem. They were saying this was a
No,
sort
they were
of
saying this was this
feminist
like
film.
yeah.
Like, yeah. And people were saying, oh, this is the worst film for feminism in, 100 years or something.
I'm somewhere in between those two camps.
Right.
I didn't think it was like a great example.
Right.
I understand both sides. I understand why people would say, "Oh, this is like a really feminist, suggestion because these women are breaking away from enslavement,
Yeah.
and
But
that's a
then they
metaphor
also, like,
for
shoot
whatever."
a scene
But
where they're like being all sexy and dumping water on each other.
Right. Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, well, if this is really a feminist film, well, I don't know.
You also have to consider,
I
though,
know
like-
what the breeder wants all the like hot supermodels. I get that.
Right. But at the same
Doesn't though?
I
Really?
identify with that.
at the same time, though, like they took this very attractive woman to play
Right.
the protagonist.
Right.
They made her really gnarly looking. They
Yeah.
took one of her arms.
But she's Charlize Theron.
I was going to say,
Did you know that
can't,
she
you can't
shaved
stomp out
her
that
head
flame. But,
voluntarily? They didn't ask her to do that.
oh, really?
She just was like, I don't know what to do.
Well, it looked
to
awesome.
prepare for
Yeah.
this. So
But
she
then-
just showed up on set with a shaved head.
But
Yeah.
also, you also have to consider you have these two groups of people fighting each other, and it's easy to forget by the end of the film
Yeah.
that on the quote-unquote good side, there are 2 men.
Yeah.
That's it. The rest of them are
Well,
women.
That's the
Yeah.
other thing, though, that I didn't like was I felt like there was a superfluous love story between that other male on their
yeah.
side and one of the supermodels. I forget the
Remember the
character's
guy,
name, and
the
I
guy who played
apologize.
Beast?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Nicholas Holt.
That
Okay.
Holt.
Is that thing? And that didn't read to me as I
just
guess
saw that as a
spoilers
little-
for Mad Max at this point. Sorry,
Yeah. Ooh.
but,
It's been a while.
Yeah,
Sorry,
but
John.
that didn't read to me as a love story between those two. And we talked about this. Like,
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
it read
But
that way
that's the
to
thing,
you,
though,
and
it's
to me it
almost
was like more of
forced.
a bond.
Yeah.
but whatever.
I mean, like, yeah. I mean, obviously, the big obvious thing they could have done is done a love story between Max and Furiosa,
Yeah.
which
Exactly.
they didn't do.
And they
Which is
didn't.
good. Yeah,
I'm
I
glad
didn't
they
need
didn't
it.
do
Or
that.
maybe
Yeah,
that's
no,
It
just
wasn't needed.
maybe that's just typical cinema indoctrinating me to be like, that's a connection, and
Right.
maybe it wasn't. I don't know,
right.
but
But yeah, you have to also think like there's this basically still a boy at heart and at mind,
True.
who's ready to spray his mouth down with spray paint,
Yeah.
and sacrifice himself for the gods. And he's basically a stowaway on this ship.
Yeah.
And then this woman comes down and shows him empathy.
Yep.
I mean,
Right.
that's
right.
the first
Changes
time he's
his
ever
tune.
he's the first time he's ever
Yeah.
experienced that.
It didn't hit me, and I'm like a little slow on the uptake. It didn't hit me that when they spray their teeth, like they're getting high off of that. That never occurred to me.
Oh, for
until
real?
I heard somebody else say it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
actually,
they're
I had
huffing.
no idea what they were doing.
Yes, they're huffing paint.
I never
Yeah.
connected that
Okay,
either.
good. Maybe I'm
So that's
normal then.
when they do that,
they go like
that's
that.
kind of their way of dealing with whatever's getting ready to
Well,
happen.
I mean, think about it. Like it's
Getting out of
when,
their
and
head
again,
a little bit.
massive spoilers, everybody. But when he climbs back, that one kid climbs back, and he's like there with Immortan Joe, and he's like, "Let me, am I going to ride with Chrome and Valhalla or whatever?" And he goes, "Yes." And he like smiles and he sprays him right in the teeth. He's huffing paint at that point, so he's going to be crazy out of his mind, ready to just kill himself
Right.
to do something. Which that made that movie so much more intense for me after I thought about that. That they just spray metal.
Yeah. But even even
kinda cool.
That world is just really interesting. That's
Yeah.
just that he's that they've created this world where that's a thing.
Yeah, for sure.
That they've taken this thing that we know as paint and made it into something else. Because at that point, they're disconnected completely from the way the world was. They have this thing, and they've made it into something
it's like
else.
an accessory
Found a new-
of
yeah.
war
Mhm.
or their
Right.
environment.
Yeah, they found a new use for it or something.
And also, one more thing.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people were super jazzed up by the hood ornament guitar guy.
Oh yeah.
I was about to mention that. Okay, I'm hopping in
like
here.
it?
I'm jumping in.
Jump on in.
And I've heard a lot of people that just hated the guitar player,
Yeah.
said it was just stupid.
Yeah.
But I will say that you have to remember that this world at one point was just like ours.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It was bred from this world. So their past is our present.
Mm-hmm.
And our present, the type of music that we get just pumped to is electric guitar, right?
Right.
So it would make sense to me for them to take that aspect of what their culture was.
Yeah.
We've always
And-
had like drummer boys and like
Right.
horns
Right,
and
right.
shit
It's-
in war.
it's the running-
I
yeah.
get that.
Yeah.
yeah, but during the time,
I think it would have been some kind of crazy electronica, like some kind of like fucking dubstep.
Yeah. I mean, I
Or,
get
I don't
that.
know. I don't listen to dubstep, but I'm just thinking like what my
I understand.
posterity in the future, in the future,
Yeah, but
will
in the
listen
future-
to, and
Posture in
it'll
the
probably
future.
piss me off. And
But
dubstep
also-
pisses me off. So
Also, they don't have. I don't think they have computers either.
Right. It would have to be
true.
analog.
So it would have to be some sort of.
And then just in terms of, well, this is still a movie, it needs to fit with that general aesthetic of like muscle cars and like, do you know what I mean? Just,
Techno,
I agree that it
techno
was
doesn't
very
do that.
cohesive with the aesthetic.
It
but
was an aesthetic cohesion, but
Plus,
yeah.
I mean, I don't want to jump into listening, and I actually wasn't going to be mention this in my listening either. But
Yeah.
Junkie XL's score for that movie is off the chain.
Yeah.
A lot of people hated it.
Uh-huh.
I loved it.
Very good.
It's
I did like the
There's
music.
nothing that's that complicated in
Yeah.
it, but I don't know, just the elements, like it's a complete hybrid score.
Yeah.
There are synthesizers and sequencers and all of those things.
Yeah.
But there's also strings, there's brass, there's giant drums and electric guitar.
That's cool.
Mm,
Yeah. Tasty.
yeah.
Nice.
It's a tasty treat. Good
All right.
tasty.
Hey, Jakey.
Yo,
What have you been watching, my man?
well, just to keep everything all amped up and manly,
Deadliest catch.
anything micro
Yeah,
touches.
right.
No. Parenthood.
what?
What? The Lindsay
Hey, wait.
Lohan movie?
No, what?
that a
That's
thing?
Parent Trap.
Oh, William.
I don't know, man.
This is
Come
a
on,
TV
man.
show, man.
Wait, was it Sinbad then that did Parenthood?
Parent Trap
I
was
don't know.
really good though.
I don't know, man.
Okay. no,
Anyway,
it was
okay, so tell me
Parenthood.
about
It's
this.
got like Dak Shepard in it. And
Tell me
some
about-
other people.
Okay.
You tell them what you told me.
Yeah, please.
You tell them what you told me.
Yeah, you can
Okay,
call it out.
so basically-
interrogation.
Basically,
Yeah.
this show is about 4 siblings
Yeah.
that are all grown up. They have families of their own,
Okay.
and they're parents. So
Okay.
it's this big family, and they're all really close. And
Hence
they
the
have-
name.
Yeah, I see.
It's all
Parenthood.
about parenthood.
Yeah.
Very aptly named.
And there's lots of things that happen between drug use or abortions.
Really?
Yeah. Evidently, this
It's
family's
like a pretty
really messed up.
It's like it's like a pretty serious. Is it a serious show?
it can be serious. It can be funny.
Okay.
Just tug on them heartstrings.
Huh.
I pretty much cry once an episode.
Really?
Just a
He
little
tears
tear
up a lot. That's
Just
what he
tear
told
up,
me.
Yeah.
See, I was gonna say when you say Parenthood.
That's
There's a
Precious.
kid with Asperger's in it.
Okay.
It's Asperger's.
It depends on who you ask.
I'm in Britain.
Right?
Asperger's, because I think Asperger's is
It's spelled-
hilarious.
It's spelled Asperger.
And it's not. So
It's not,
Yeah.
but the name is hilarious.
But when you say Parenthood, I think like I don't know.
Bob Dylan has a song in it.
Okay. See, is it more like a Scrubs
Okay,
tone?
No.
No, okay.
No.
Is it like a live shot on a set sitcom?
Sitcom, no.
Okay.
It's not a sitcom.
It's a single camera.
It's a single.
Okay.
It's an hour-long show.
Yeah.
Just emotional. Can be
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
Be very serious. Can be not so serious.
It plays
Nice.
on all your human
it just
emotions.
pretty much
and-
tugs all the way through, man. It's really good.
Nice.
Yeah.
How long you been into that?
Oh, a few years.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you're watching it as it comes out. You're not like binging.
Yeah.
Did you
I
also
kind of
enjoy-
set it down. I set it down for about a year or
Okay.
two, and now I picked back up. I've got 2
What
seasons
about
to watch.
what
and
about
it's over.
Seventh Heaven? Did you like that one?
When I was a kid, I watched Seventh Heaven.
I watched it.
I did
ABC
as a kid.
Family.
Yeah, ABC Family, Seventh Heaven.
I hated that crap. I was like, "Where's Nickelodeon?"
Well,
but also I've been watching Sons of Anarchy. So
oh, there you
That's
go.
good
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
I'm in the 6th season of that. Getting ready to finish that up. Pretty
Nice.
stoked about that.
I still haven't seen any of that. I keep getting told I
so
need to watch
good.
it. but I'm
I've seen a single episode,
Yeah.
and it made me want to watch the next one.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there you have it.
Dude,
Good
there's
job.
Dead bodies right out the gate.
That's successful.
Boom, boom, pow.
And
Riding
that's what I'm
motorcycles.
looking for.
Big knives hanging off your side.
Right.
Whew.
So it's sort of like Mad Max the
The
series.
feel of brotherhood.
Oh, yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
Right out
Or
the
maybe
camaraderie.
Sisterhood.
It's a good show, man.
Nice.
It's like the prequel to Mad Max 1.
Okay.
Like right on the edge.
Oh, right,
of-
right on the edge.
Right on the edge
dystopian.
of the,
Yeah.
the law not existing anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
But also, when you watch it, you're going to want to get a motorcycle. So we're all going to have motorcycles.
Let's
next year
let
is
Will
what I'm
watch
getting
it.
at.
See, I'm toying
Just
with
push
that
him
idea
over
right
the
now.
edge.
No, we're all toying
Dude,
with that idea. Right
are
now.
we?
You guys could
Yeah.
be a
Oh my
motorcycle
gosh.
gang.
I was talking with Jake and
Yeah.
James the other
Club.
day,
Yeah.
and James is about to buy his first motorcycle,
Yeah,
which
he was
he's already
telling me.
he's already laid it over. Like he's already
I
hurt
saw
himself.
that.
Mhm.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But
What?
He's okay.
he's fine.
He kinda
Okay, good.
bounced.
Yeah.
He bounced and
Say what?
his knee hurt for a few days.
Right.
Didn't hear about
but
that one.
here's the thing: if you buy a motorcycle,
Yeah.
I don't have a choice.
I know, that's true.
And then if
Will-
Joe
and
buys a
vice versa.
motorcycle-
If
Will-
Wait, back it up.
If Will buys a motorcycle,
if
That's
I'm
the
just
last.
saying,
No, feel free.
if Mr. Caution,
Right.
if
right.
Mr.
Right.
I don't think you should throw a cough drop in a fire.
No, you really
that
shouldn't.
sounds like
you'll
a
get
bad
the
idea.
embers
It
all
does.
gummy. He said that.
Yeah, I did say that.
He
You
said,
shouldn't
"No,
because-
don't throw your cough drop in the fire. You'll get the embers
I'm
all
just-
gummy."
Look, I'm just saying.
He was panicking.
Actually, but he said it like
Can't
this:
have those.
"Don't throw that in the fire." And we were like, "Why?" He said, it'll get the embers all gummy."
I thought he was more like, "You'll get the embers all
See,
gummy."
Okay.
Well, maybe.
Did
All
you
right.
think it was going to release some sort of toxin into the air?
No. My thought is, and I'll go with it. I'm overly cautious. My thought was, I just don't want to be the person that has to clean that out. And I was in no danger of being that person, but I was like, I don't want to be the person that has to
I felt
scrape
like-
melted Hull's cough drop out of this fireplace.
I felt
Yeah,
like you
so-
thought it was
yeah, don't
gonna
do
like.
that. That's not a good idea.
You know how people
That's
are
my
like,
first
"Don't throw
move.
glass into the fire."
And
That's
I probably-
an excellent idea. Don't do that.
Right.
It will
it'll break.
Yeah,
Right.
it'll explode.
Right.
It's like
I think this
glass
world is-
shrapnel.
I think this world is way more dangerous than most people give it credit for.
cough
And
drops
so I
and
thought
fires are
Will
Exactly.
thought he was going to have
Exactly.
cough drop shrapnel.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where I was
Um,
going with that. I don't know.
All right. Well, enough cough drops. Maggie, what are you watching?
Oh, I have been watching an inordinate amount of Twin Peaks.
Oh yeah, there you go.
And I've never watched it before. I know I'm a little
Boom,
late
I
on
haven't-
that
I
train.
haven't seen any of it.
boom, boom.
That makes me feel better because some people I know are like, "Oh my God, you haven't seen that yet? What?"
Yeah, well, the people you
Like, they
hang out
make-
with, though. So.
It's you guys.
right.
Obviously not, because we ain't never seen Twin
Yeah.
Peaks.
It's
No.
good. I've watched. I've watched as much as you have. I think.
I think
And
I've
so-
watched more at this point.
Oh, have you? Yeah.
Yep. I was
Probably
trying to
so.
catch up to Will, and I had a week where I was really sick. So of course I burned through it because that's all I could
Yeah.
really do. And once you start watching that, it's a cliffhanger during
Yeah.
every
Of course. They want you to keep coming back for more.
episode.
Yeah.
Oh man! Well,
And it's only
also
2
the nature
seasons.
of this show. It's like
They're
it's a
coming back
murder
out with it.
mystery. Absolutely, they are because so much left there.
Right.
And
so
I'm only
it's like a continuation then, like sequel,
I think so.
or is it like a
I think
something else?
I think it is, but I'm not
I
sure.
thought it was a different
Is it still the Fincher?
storyline.
It may be
but I
like
don't
an
know.
anthology sort of thing where they're keeping the name. It's maybe about the town because it's
Okay.
the town of Twin Peaks. I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm not sure.
Mhm.
I'm
I
talking
gotcha.
out of my butt.
Well,
But yeah,
I know that, like, when it went off air and they were going to bring it back,
yeah.
they couldn't agree on money with the director.
Right.
David Lynch.
Yeah.
David
And
Lynch
he
said,
failed.
"No, you got to give me more money. If I'm
So then they
going
were
to
like,
do what I want to do with it."
No, we're not going to give you more money.
Right.
And then,
But he ended
just
up
like a
coming
week
back.
or two later,
Yeah.
or like a week or two ago or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I heard it. But they were evidently like, yeah, here's your money.
Yeah, sorry, Mr. Lynch.
Well, yeah, because everybody was like, "Whoa.
They're like,
Why
we don't want
you
to do
can't
they
do this
signed
without
on
David
because
Lynch."
Yeah.
All the
Yeah.
actors signed on because of David Lynch. Was
Um,
coming back, but then when he didn't come back, they were like,
Yeah, I want to try to I want to play a game right now with the listeners, just for fun. This is just for me. If you've seen Twin Peaks, I'm going to ask you a question, and you're going to answer it in your home out loud to yourself. I really hope somebody does this.
well, I bet this game is not fun.
This is a great game. I'm going to ask you. You
This
answer
is
this
great
question.
game.
That's great because we'll all see the results.
Right, exactly. We'll all know. No, you can comment on.
But
you
you
can
said
comment on
say
the
it out
post.
loud to yourself.
Yeah, but you can comment on the post and tell us you did it.
They don't comment.
They don't like that. Oh,
They don't like
right.
that.
Okay.
I'll do it. Wait.
Who killed Laura Palmer?
Ooh, I have a
Somebody
theory.
just did it. Somebody just did it. Yeah, we shouldn't hear your theory because they haven't seen any of it.
Who
Oh,
killed
yeah, no.
Jim
So
Moore?
so far, I know that somebody named Laura dies.
That's the episode
Okay.
1 opening scene.
That's the whole
that's what
show.
the whole thing is.
So maybe we should say, for the benefit of you,
Right.
the show. It's kind of this. It's a seemingly quaint little mountain town,
Ooh,
and
I like that description.
it's true.
Yeah, it is.
But there's a mill in the town. That's the main source of commerce for the town, and it's just really quaint small town where everyone knows everyone. And this really seemingly kind girl, Laura Palmer, goes around. She does Meals on Wheels. She
Don't give away too much.
coordinates- I'm
That's
not
not
going
how
to.
it opens.
That is how it opens. It's all in the first episode.
Okay.
Anyway, winds
Will
up
doesn't
someone
know.
killed her. This episode 1.
Turns
no
out
spoilers.
That is
Spoiler
episode
alert.
1. That is episode.
No, that's what the show's based on.
Right.
You can
I
read
didn't
the
know that,
You
so
can
it
read the back
spoiled
of
it.
the DVD and be like, "Who killed Laura Palmer?"
Who
That's
owns a
what it would say.
DVD anymore?
Somebody who's into
I
Twin
do.
Peaks.
I don't know. I can't afford a Blu-ray player. Are you going to judge me for that?
No, he's saying physical
kidding.
medium are dead.
Oh,
Yeah.
Right.
he might.
Look, if the chicken farmer knows that,
You're
Wait.
talking to an analog fan.
Do you get to be a chicken farmer just because you grew up on a chicken farm?
Joe seems to think
You
so.
didn't farm anything.
I worked at the chicken
Right.
houses.
You chased those chickens, and your
In that
parents
case-
convinced you that it was work.
Right. Set one of those
They're like,
chickens out.
Jake's
Let
out
Jake
there chasing them. The chickens. Good job, little son.
All right. Take it.
He's really just running around like with a broom, shooing
They're
them.
like, Jake's bored. Well, get one of those chickens and set it out there and tell him that we need him to work today.
Poke it a little bit.
I'd tell you what he actually does when he works, but then some of our listeners would probably tear up.
Oh.
Next.
I don't know what I do.
So anyway, yeah, Twin Peaks is super good.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about that.
Yeah.
I
In
did
the end,
I'm
chicken nuggets. So everybody's
Right.
happy.
No.
Not everybody.
No.
I don't do that part.
Chicken nuggets aren't
No.
necessarily chicken.
Okay. Good.
don't think.
Cow
That's
nuggets.
good because
They're
I'm a
more-
vegetarian and I eat them all the time.
You're
so.
not a
Yeah.
vegetarian.
That's true. Neither one of those things are true. So
Yeah.
yeah.
They're made out of that pink stuff.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Well, I'm
They're
going
made
to
out of
take this
old silly
opportunity to
I'm a pink sludge farmer.
rein it in.
Raina said, your chicken nuggets are made of silly putty. Okay, so I've been watching, recently I've been watching, I'm going to,
Wait, Will.
What?
What have you been watching?
Hey, thanks, Jake. I appreciate the setup, my man. I'm gonna talk about something that I can't really talk too much about, but what I'm really excited about watching is
True Detective Season 2.
Exactly. You
Boom.
called it. True
I took
Detective.
it from you.
It's a double whammy because I also have been watching
Yeah,
that.
exactly. Yeah, I knew we would divvy it
I
up.
don't even know what
knew
that
we'd do
is. It sounds so good. though.
You haven't seen True Detective?
Did you not see the True Detective Season 1?
I don't know what that is.
season 1? I really don't know what it
Oh,
is.
You haven't heard of it?
dude.
No.
You haven't heard of
Jake.
the Reconnaissance?
The reconnaissance, man. Come
What the
on.
hell are you
Ooh,
talking about?
Oh, huh.
That's the thing.
Had you
I
not
went
heard
through a
about that
whole
either?
cycle just now. Ooh, oh. Wow.
So Matthew McConaughey.
That's what parenthood is like.
Oh, that's why I'm not going to have
Throwback,
kids.
Throwback. Very nice.
Full circle.
So True Detective is an HBO show, and its first season was last year. And I really cannot believe that we haven't talked
We all
about
watched
this
it.
before. Yeah.
Where were
you
you?
don't love me enough.
Where were you? Yeah, I mean,
you
that's
all watched it?
Yes, we all
Yeah.
watched it.
Like you got together and
No,
watched it?
no.
Yes.
Yeah, without you.
Not
We
the
said
whole thing.
Jake
Not the
wouldn't
whole
like
thing.
this, and we didn't call
Episodes.
you.
Yeah.
We had True Detective nights.
That's right.
When
we
it
were
was-
like, make sure Jake's gone. We'll
Yeah.
get together.
Or Jake was like, I got work in the morning.
Yep.
Well,
That could happen.
sorry, I'm an adult.
Yeah, you
None
should
of us
be.
are, so
Yeah, no.
we're not
Yeah.
sorry.
If I don't work, you all won't have a place to live someday.
What? Oh, that's true. Yeah, okay.
On his farm?
Because I'm moving into his house whenever I go broke.
No.
All right, so here's the deal.
Thanks a lot, Maggie.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a nice house.
Guys, True Detective. So,
Oh.
Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey
Oh.
play detectives on this HBO show where they're investigating this sort of like occult-looking, ritualized murder. And it's
Very good description.
It's so good,
Dude, you had
man.
me hooked.
Dude, it's
Dude,
so good.
My mind is blown right now.
Dude, I cannot
Like,
believe you haven't heard about that. And then season 2 just started. So today we're recording on a Sunday. So episode 3 is going to air tonight. So the first 2 episodes are what I've seen of season 2, but it's an anthology series. So it's like season 1 won't really have much at all to do with season 2. It's different
Okay.
characters.
So season 2 has Colin Farrell,
Yeah.
Vince Vaughn,
Rachel
McAdams.
And Taylor Kitsch, I think is how you say his name.
Yeah.
I don't know who he is really.
Gambit.
He was in
Gambit.
Friday Night
Oh, he's
Lights. All
gonna
my
be-
coworkers told me. They were like,
Yeah.
Taylor Kitsch is in this thing. And I was like, which one's he?
Yeah,
Friday Night Lights.
he's the one.
But
who
they're
did
all
the TV
super
show.
into the TV show Friday Night Lights.
Yeah, I've
you-
heard good things.
Wolverine.
I've heard good things too, but it doesn't seem like something I'd be into.
Yeah.
But
It doesn't seem
apparently it is.
It
Me
doesn't
too.
seem like the people that I think that you're talking about would be into that either.
They are.
Because I was into that.
Everybody's upsetting
let's be real.
expectations today. But he's going to play Gambit too.
He already has.
Oh,
He
for
played-
what movie?
X-Men Origins.
X-Men Origins.
Did you not see X-Men Origins?
Yeah, the
You're
Wolverine
kidding
one.
me right now.
Okay, they're making another one with Gambit.
No, Gambit was in that movie.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Okay, maybe I didn't see that. No, I saw the Wolverine. That's what I saw. I think
Oh,
I saw
that's
the
the one
Wolverine.
I saw too, right?
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
saw it, but I didn't pay attention when I was
It
watching
wasn't very good.
I heard it wasn't very good, and
Yeah,
so
he
it
gets
was
like people's
on.
powers
He
and
was a
stuff,
decent
and it's
Gambit.
kinda-
Yeah.
He was a decent Gambit.
Did he throw cards and all that? I, need
I
to
think
go
so.
back- I need to go back
he
and
threw
watch that.
cards.
Jeez, I'm out of it, guys. I'm sorry. Anyway, True Detective Season 2 is awesome. I'm watching it right now. It's maintained. Vince Vaughn is fantastic in it. He's
He
serious,
doesn't
obviously.
even seem like
Yeah, he's
Vince
not-
Vaughn at all.
He's not Wedding Crashers Vince Vaughn.
Dude,
It's like,
that trips me up when
Yeah.
somebody can go like full spectrum
oh yeah.
Yeah.
of
well-
the acting scene.
Whenever True Detective Season 1 came out, first of all, the internet turned into True Detectornet
Yeah, that's right.
because
It blew up the
like
internet.
changed the game for typecast
Yeah.
big name actors
Yeah.
to come onto this show and show the world what they could really do.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And I didn't like Matthew McConaughey until that.
I agree.
For real?
I didn't like I didn't dislike
He
him,
just
but
did
I
a
was
bunch
like
of romantic comedies.
haha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not embarrassed to say that I just don't like romantic comedies for the most part.
Yeah.
Unless they're hard, funny, One Direction,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like a Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Right. That was
I
pretty
can
funny.
watch that maybe once every year or two.
Yeah.
But
It's
I wouldn't
pretty
even. I
good.
wouldn't call.
Maybe.
But if it's full romantic comedy, like
right.
You've got mail.
here's
We
the,
inside the
okay,
circle like to call
that's
them
Tom.
rom-coms.
Don't be
Yeah,
knocking
rom-coms.
Tom. I love Tom
I mean,
Hanks.
I personally
Yeah.
love romantic comedies
I don't-
if they're funny.
see for I don't know. Maybe it says something
It's
poor
a
about my
little
character.
lowbrow. I
But
understand.
I've always found them really depressing.
See,
because I
Yeah.
feel
because
like
it's
they're
an
not,
idealization of everything.
I feel like it's like almost disrespectful to real life.
Oh,
If
okay.
that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
I
it's
get
not
that.
an accurate representation.
Okay, so
I guess.
I like. Wow, thanks. No, I'm just kidding. So,
I mean, you didn't try to meet me on the top of the Sears Tower.
yeah, not
Wait,
yet.
She was saying
Thanks for ruining that for
Oh
us.
no!
Spoilers. Anyway,
what?
I was gonna say is I can like romantic comedies, but like I wouldn't have thought about it this way until you said You've Got Mail, because I like You've Got Mail, and I'm thinking
Yeah.
like if it's just a
was
good
clever.
movie with actors that I like, and it happens to be a romantic comedy, I can be really into it. So I liked You've Got Mail because it's Tom Hanks. I love Tom Hanks. But like like Matthew McConaughey's romantic comedies,
I
it was
couldn't
like
even name
we
one.
have this
Fool's
formula.
Gold.
Fool's
Yeah,
Gold.
Fool's Gold is. I like
Yeah.
Fool's Gold though.
It was like we have this formula, and we're gonna plug in an attractive male and an attractive female, and we're gonna push out of the machine this romantic comedy. I can't do that.
Yeah.
I
Now
like Fool's
Yeah.
Gold.
Fair enough.
I don't remember a thing about it.
Yeah, I don't
They're
either.
looking for treasure, bro.
Okay, and they fall in love. Well,
They're
there you go.
getting divorced.
Okay, but then they fall back in love.
Well, hell yeah, they
Yeah.
do.
Okay.
Are you sure you're not thinking
Yeah.
of National Treasure?
Right.
Well,
'Cause I
in
fell in
National
love.
Treasure, they didn't look for gold under the water.
They
Yeah.
look for treasure under the earth.
Under the Capitol.
So I thought you might have confused it.
And plus, I fell
I
in
don't
love
know.
with Nicolas Cage in that movie, so
Yeah.
that's true. Part of it.
Yeah, Nick Cage was in both.
I actually
movies.
liked that
Anyway.
movie, so I was just hoping it would be that.
Now, if you want to go kind of romantic comedy and
Yeah.
like if you want me to not just feel like a total poop while
Yeah.
watching it.
Can I guess
Sure.
what you're saying?
Right.
Can I
A
guess what you're
total
going to say?
poop.
Yeah.
Love and Other Drugs. Is that a movie title?
It
No,
is.
Yeah,
Yes.
that is. No,
I haven't seen
sure.
it.
Yeah,
Steve Carell?
that direction.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Silver Linings Playbook.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Like
I haven't seen that, and
it's-
I'm like the only one.
it's so good. The third act
I need to
lost me
take
a
a
little
second.
bit.
Yeah.
And the only reason the third act lost me is because of the pacing of
Yeah.
events.
I agree.
See, to me,
It leaned a little too far into the rom-com like idealized thing.
to me, it's
But
a
the
little
re-
more emotional though than most
It is.
rom-coms.
But it's like it's real. You know what I mean? Like it's
yeah, it's a little too real to be a rom-com.
right.
Yeah.
But
You know?
I mean,
is
Silver
that weird
Linings.
that I don't know.
You used rom-com 2 or 3 times in a row. Is that is that weird? Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Well,
Yeah.
that and like
Yeah.
the way I just decided that I didn't think that should belong in the rom-com movie
Yeah,
was
right.
that
No.
it was
Right.
too real.
No,
Well, yeah,
see,
no, I mean,
I
that's
would
fair.
agree that
Yeah.
it's not a romantic comedy.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's what a romantic comedy has to be for me to just
Yeah.
really
I got you.
like. I
Sure.
could watch that movie multiple times in a year.
That was a good
Fantastic
movie.
film.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a good movie. Well, Joe, what you been reading? Let's see that.
Whoa, smooth transition, Will.
You're right.
We came
Hey,
to
Joe.
a logical end.
Right. It was logical.
I haven't been reading a ton.
Okay.
The last short
Bad
story
start.
I read, I forget what it was called, but it was Kurt Vonnegut, and
Yeah.
it was this book I got at Half Price Books of previously unpublished
Oh yeah. I know
Kurt
what you're talking
Vonnegut
about.
stories.
Yeah.
And it was this story about this inventor
Mm-hmm.
who made this walking, talking woman refrigerator
Yeah.
that he could control with buttons in his shoes. And
Oh my gosh.
he was trying to build this idealized version of a woman.
Yeah.
And then he was going to let his friend, his business partner, take it out and tour it.
Oh wow. Yeah.
And he realized that, no, this is mine. This is my invention. I'm going to do it. He leaves.
yeah.
His wife,
Spoilers.
yeah.
Cool.
His wife eventually,
Just making sure.
Cool.
yeah. No one's
No,
gonna read this.
no, it's fine. But
yeah, this
I'm
isn't
not.
like
I
this
like
isn't
you
like
No, I
being
know.
that go, no
quote
one's
unquote
gonna read
Vonnegut.
this.
somebody's not like, let me put down my Vonnegut unpublished short stories book and listen to the Villain District
Yeah.
podcast. I'll be right back.
Someone may.
But no,
Probably not, though.
maybe my sister.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
But so he leaves and starts touring this refrigerator lady,
right.
and leaves his business partner back home.
Uh-huh.
Well, his wife, the guy that left, his wife ends up leaving him
Yeah.
and marrying his business partner.
Oh.
And it's this really interesting kind of. It's funny,
Uh-huh.
but it's fantastical
Yeah.
kind of thing. But it's this kind of twisted thing, like it. That's what Vonnegut does.
That's what he does, yeah.
Like it's about the story's not about a refrigerator lady.
Yeah.
The story is about him not thinking or being afraid that
Yeah.
his wife
Yeah.
can't like live up to this thing he's built in
This
his head.
idealization,
So he
yeah.
builds it and then
Yeah.
leaves with something that's artificial.
Yeah.
And decides to live his entire life with this artificial thing.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where the story starts.
Uh-huh.
And he gets a letter. The narrator of the story
Yeah.
is just the messenger.
Uh-huh.
So it's written in first person, and this guy has to take this letter that this guy's wife wrote him and find him and give it to him because she's dying in a bed and she
gotcha.
wants to talk to him one last time.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
and then
that makes me want to read right there.
yeah,
I mean, yeah, that sounds really
But
cool.
then I'm like, shoot, reading's really hard.
all right, let's call back
okay.
to what.
Yeah.
Okay, listen to his comment,
Yeah.
and then now let's all rewind the episode
Yeah.
to when I said, Jake, you're not reading anything.
Right. Okay.
So
So
now we can all have a little laugh together.
all right. So Maggie, what have you been reading?
Well,
Skipped me. I'll talk about the last thing that I read. What it was.
Tell us what it was. Yeah.
It's called. It's the wettest county in the world.
Okay.
It is a book.
Yeah.
good start.
There it is.
That's all you need.
It's a book about water.
Yeah.
It was really rainy in this town one year.
Uh-huh.
That's about it.
All right.
No,
He's lying.
it's good.
Oh.
No, it's about
He's
it's
lying.
Prohibition era
Mm-hmm.
book.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually based on the Bondurants.
Okay.
You know who that is?
I don't.
Joe, do you know who that is?
I do know who that is.
Whoa, Will's a dummy.
Yeah, I know.
What about you, Maggie?
He may not.
The who?
Did you ever
Bondurants?
see? Did you ever see the movie Lawless?
I didn't. No, I
No.
didn't see
Okay.
Oh
it.
my God, dude!
I
If
know,
you give
yeah,
me a
yeah.
little more
What the hell's
context,
wrong
maybe
with
I'll be
you?
like, oh, yeah, well, I didn't know that was our name.
Yeah.
Moonshine.
Same family that
Oh.
Moonshine's
Moonshine.
based on. Yeah.
Family.
Moonshine
Yeah,
family.
Moonshine
but,
Runners.
it's basically about these guys fighting
Mm-hmm.
the illegal the taxes on alcohol and the
Right.
not selling alcohol and all that jazz. These brothers, and it's a pretty brutal book.
Yeah.
At one point, this guy his legs are laid up onto the running boards of a vehicle, which
Uh-huh.
is the step that you use to get into the vehicle.
I don't know that I want you to finish this story.
His legs are laid up onto it, and then Forrest Bondurant
Uh-huh.
stomps his shins in half.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I thought he was
Shins.
going to give him some free liquor.
Nope.
That's what I
And
thought.
then he
And then he got
uses
better.
the moonshine as an antiseptic.
Yeah.
It's supposedly based on what I can gather as semi-true stories.
Okay.
Right.
The guy who wrote the book is actually the grandson or great-grandson, I guess, of Forrest Bondurant.
Right.
Oh,
But
cool.
what's interesting is that these characters, like three brothers, right?
Yeah.
They're almost like mythological at this point.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
there's no like super accurate telling, so
Yeah.
the stories just keep getting
Yeah.
wilder and wilder.
Yeah.
And if you watch Lawless, you'll see
cool.
that like especially Forrest or
Forrest is the
Forrest.
the,
and
is the main.
he was
is,
played by Tom Hardy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know that Mad Max Tom Hardy voice?
Uh-huh.
He pretty much has that
Nice.
the whole movie.
Yeah, yeah, that's
and
fun.
he's this like unshakable, like everyone's afraid of this guy, but like
He seems to have a theme
But-
in the characters that he plays.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
totally.
for
but
sure,
like
for sure.
they always said that the Bondurants can't die.
Oh, cool.
They were immortal.
yeah.
Because like
That's fun.
there was one of them got the Spanish flu and lived or something like
Uh-huh.
that. And
They got shot
they got
up
shot
and-
in war.
One of them got their throat slit and lived.
Yeah,
and-
Oh,
and
wow,
walked
yeah.
himself to the hospital.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
So
but
they're
really
kind of
somebody
like on the
took him.
level of like Pecos Bill or something at this point.
Yeah,
Like,
they're
yeah.
myth. They're almost
Yeah.
a myth.
Tall
you know?
tales.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're tall
that's cool.
tales, but they're real people. Now, whether
They're in the mythos.
what actually happened was
Yeah.
true, but in the
Mythos?
end, like
That's
pneumonia
the power
ended up killing
of a story.
one of them.
He can
Pneumonia.
tell you
Okay.
a
Yeah.
story.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, if I read, it has to be like history related.
Oh man.
A document or not a documentary, but a
Biography.
a biography about
Yeah.
someone that I am into at that moment in
Yeah.
time, or a funny news article.
Fair enough. Fair
You said that like you were embarrassed about it. Or
Yeah, Jake,
Well,
I've actually
Will's got me into the Onion
Jake,
here lately. and
Jake,
I read
I've
an
heard
article.
about
Everyone
funny
loves
news
the
articles,
Onion.
but I've never read them. I would never stoop so low.
No, that's all you read.
You peasant.
It's time for you to discover the power of fiction, though, bro.
That's right, man.
I don't know, dude.
Look,
I just
no-
can't get into dragons.
I gotta be honest. Fiction in prose.
Dragons
Well,
and crap?
we'll get to that when I get
Okay.
to mine.
Well, you know what Sons of Anarchy is? Fiction.
True
No,
story.
it's based on events of real motorcycle clubs, bro.
Real motorcycle clubs, but the stories are made up. It's fiction.
But it's what are dragons based on?
Big lizards.
Really
Fiction.
mean cats?
dinosaurs.
that's like
Dinosaurs, man.
Did I just say
Dinosaurs had feathers.
dinosaurs? I'm sorry. I meant dinosaurs.
saying. I think
Dinosaurs.
Not
man.
much better. Sorry.
Yeah.
I think you just don't know what the word fiction means.
Right.
But wizards are the devil.
That is true.
That's not
Wizards
true.
and dragons doesn't mean fiction. That's
Maggie,
actually
tell-
fantasy.
I watched
Harry Potter's
all
the
of them.
chosen
So
one.
actually, if
we
you're
just jinxed each other by
if
saying
you're-
Harry
if you-
Potter.
If you go to a bookstore and
Yell
you go
me
to
a
the
Coke.
fiction section,
Yeah.
you won't see dragons because dragons are in the fantasy section.
Right.
Fiction,
That's true.
Fiction books
Oh.
are about
It just means not true.
just not
Fantasy
true
is something
events.
that you wish it was true.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
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 like I wish that was true. Some other stuff that
That's
I
why
wish
you've
was
got,
true.
you've got
like-
fiction, you've
and
got
I know
science
that I should say
fiction.
wish
yeah.
were true, but
But I
Science
like-
fiction would be like Star Trek.
I
Yeah.
like to think of things and think Oh man, that's crazy that this actually happened.
But
Yeah, but if it didn't-
Sons of Anarchy is
Right.
not the right show for you. Then.
Yeah, that's not what you
Because
need to
it
be
probably
watching.
did.
Sons of
You need to
Anarchy,
be watching,
Joe.
like-
That's the point.
It's
You
the
need to be
same
watching
thing.
like
No,
Ken
Jake,
Burns documentaries.
I really like Flash and
Ooh,
Arrow,
Jake,
but that
you know what?
doesn't happen.
Yeah,
Jake, when
But
you were talking
have you
about
ever read a comic book?
when you were talking about the other
same
stuff that you
thing
had
as
an interest
watching
in,
a
I was
show.
gonna take a moment to recommend to you the Ken Burns documentaries on
Oh yeah, there you go.
Prohibition, Civil War.
Jazz.
See, I
Jazz.
could be really
Baseball.
into that.
You
Yeah.
would love it. I mean, the
You would like
layman
that.
would be interested in that. I mean, I love
if
history,
anybody's
so
a
I'm
layman.
interested in it. No, I'm just saying you don't have to have a prior interest in anything
no,
like
you're
that.
absolutely right.
And it's very accessible. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you already have a prior interest. So I was
I'll-
going to say you would like it.
All I'm saying is,
I'm all over the board.
don't shut it out
You
just
are.
because
Right. You'll find it.
there's some great stuff that I
You'll
think
find
you'd
it.
really enjoy.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about dipping into Audible.
There you go.
That's good
Yeah, that's a
stuff.
good way. It's a good way.
I just-
I listen
because
to
if
The
you know
Hobbit
me, you know
on
that
Audible.
reading is a little difficult for me, but
I just
I
listen-
could
You can
read
say
with
why.
my ears.
you can read with your ears. Yeah,
you can say
for sure.
why reading is difficult.
Right.
Oh, because I'm dumb.
That's
Yeah,
not
sure.
why.
That's
that,
not true.
honestly,
You're
that's
very
it.
smart.
No, he's not.
No, he's
Oh,
not
he's
very
not?
smart. He's dumb. That's why it
Okay.
is.
No.
You know,
That's why it is.
Jake taught
I'm like,
taught
no,
me
you're smart.
that
All right.
there were different kinds of intelligence.
Oh God.
Indeed.
I'm just being me. That's based on a true story. That's not fiction.
That's not fiction. That really happened. Hey,
That's
Maggie.
autobiographical. Yes.
But I will say, I just
But I
listened to
Hi,
The
yes.
Martian, which is a book by Andy Ware on
Uh-huh.
Audible, and it was actually a really fun experience. listening
Coming
to
out
that.
as a movie, by the way.
It's very much like listening to podcasts, but
Yeah.
like it's just a long form story.
Future,
It's
I
great.
want to read Nick Offerman's "Paddle Your Own Canoe."
Yep.
I've heard that's really
and
good.
I would like to read that.
I think you'd devour that. I bet.
I believe
Julie.
that I would,
Yep.
because it's about being.
I
a
believe
man,
that you
which is what I am.
Would.
Hey, Maggie. Oh God. Oh no.
Sorry.
I was getting.
reached for that.
I was getting ready to throw it,
It was
to you
that was
to
part of
see
the
what.
humor, though, was the reach.
I was getting ready to see what you had been reading, but I don't know that I care anymore.
I'm just shaking my head over here.
Yeah, exactly.
SMH.
So, what you been reading?
Well,
HMU.
I'm doing a little bit of summer reading.
Yeah.
Shaking my underwear.
Oh,
HMU.
I don't know what HMU means.
I don't either.
I don't think that's a thing.
Yeah.
HMU. Hit me up.
Hit
Oh, I thought
me
it was-
up. Yeah.
Yeah, hit me up.
HMU.
Hook me up.
Oh, I don't know.
That's what I want it to
I'm
mean.
out of touch. But, yeah, summer reading.
Yeah.
Have me a blast.
Summer reading.
Happened so fast. I read a book. Crazy for me.
Read a story as cool as can be.
Definitely getting sued. Definitely getting
No,
sued.
we're changing the words.
Yeah. NSA Google is going to be like, oh, I recognize that. You're
Summer
sued.
reads ripped at the seams.
Hey, it's a cover, dude.
Oh, no.
That was good.
That's fan fiction
It's
of
a
a song.
cover.
No, it's
Yeah.
it's a cover. It's fine.
Like of a
Oh,
book.
okay.
It's like on
Can we
YouTube.
talk
You
about
can
something
right,
you can
that's
post
true.
covers.
Importance real
You just
quick
can't
before-
use the recording.
No, Jake, it's my turn.
No, I just really want to know this.
What?
Joe,
I'm
can you
just
pour me
teasing.
some more of that?
Oh, yeah, there you go.
You can pour your own. You got arms.
Paddle your own canoe, man. Maggie, what have you been
Okay,
reading?
sorry. Summer reading. I've been revisiting some of. Well, I don't want to say J.K. Rowling because it's really
Dragons.
Robert Galbraith.
Dragons.
Oh, yeah.
I've been reading
Is that
some
fiction
murder
dragons?
mysteries.
Is it based on a true story? Because if not, then it's not worth anything.
Well,
Jake
Jake
doesn't-
won't like it.
I'm into. Okay, is that a problem?
Yeah, it is.
You are
very-
into it.
Do you watch Deadliest Catch? No.
Yeah,
And I
I
don't
do
hound you about
sometimes.
it.
I do sometimes.
I don't.
You
I'm
have
just
to find
saying.
something else.
I don't mean to cut into your time. I'm just saying.
If I don't talk about this book in the next 2 seconds, I'm gonna flip this table
Okay.
over.
Yeah.
Just
it's
kidding, I
glass,
don't care.
so you better go ahead and talk about it.
Right.
It's got a glass top table.
In that case, go ahead.
Oh, all right, yeah.
Yeah, jump in there.
So what about your summer reading, Maggie?
Okay, so J.K. Rowling, under a pseudonym, as we all know, wrote these. Maybe not Jake, but other people might know that J.K. Rowling, once
If
she
you couldn't
finished
see the face that I was making,
All right, to
then
be
you'd
fair-
think that she was being really rude.
To be fair with, yeah, exactly. I was
Well,
gonna say,
you already said you didn't read books, so I think
I
everyone
know-
has prior knowledge.
I know because I'm with her all the time. Joe knows because he loves those books and that author.
And then
so
I was
it
about
makes
to
sense.
spell it out for the other people.
Right. Okay. Go ahead.
Listenership.
J.K. Rowling,
And Jake?
who wrote Harry Potter,
Yeah.
she, in an attempt to sort of distance herself from the fame that she had achieved from that book series, she wrote some books under a pseudonym, but someone quickly leaked it. Someone from her publisher,
Yeah.
their wife, decided it would be cool to tweet about it and totally ruin the whole thing.
So like
Yeah.
a
but
bad
anyway,
guy.
So
Yeah.
wait, it's kind of like Garth
Like a-
Brooks whenever he went all.
Sort of.
a little bit, yeah.
Except he wasn't anonymous. Everybody was just like, "Oh, Garth Brooks put on a wig for some reason."
What is that guy's name?
Chris Gaines?
Chris Gaines.
They're like,
So
oh,
it's like,
Whoa, that's Garth Brooks.
Why did Garth Brooks grow up? I was going to say,
Grow a
like,
soul
like,
patch.
like you know who Chris Gaines is outside of the context of Garth Brooks. What if your favorite
don't
artist
know.
was Chris Gaines and you had just never heard of Garth Brooks? I want
One of
that
your
to happen
favorite
so
author
bad.
was Robert Galbraith,
Oh,
and
that's
you're
true.
yeah.
you didn't
no,
know.
that's really cool, but
Yeah.
that's a super
Okay.
dick move on that wife's part.
Yeah,
though.
exactly.
Well, yeah, she was just a
Wives,
dummy.
you know.
She was just a dummy, and then that guy lost his job, and J.K. Rowling was like, "Mm-hmm."
She tweeted that. J.K. Rowling.
No, she was like, "Sorry, my fun got cut short, but
Yeah.
now you guys know I'm Robert Galbraith, but I'm going to continue to write this series of stories.
That's
murder
really cool.
mystery stories. It's about a gumshoe
There you go.
in London.
What's a gumshoe?
You ever
a
stepped in
private
gum?
eye, private detective, private
yeah, but I was
detective."
barefooted, so I can't relate.
Oh, God. Well played.
Gum
Just
put then.
perpetuating stereotypes.
Sorry.
That's what we do here
I
on the
may or
Villain
may
District
not have
podcast.
ADD.
I
or
reckon
something
that's
like
what you're
that.
doing. But yeah, anyway, it's just like it's a murder mystery. Follows the storyline of one main character. His name's Cormoran Strike. He's the private eye. And the first book is, well, they're both murder mysteries, but the second one has a real True Detective vibe. So anybody who is into True Detective and
All
has
right.
that interest in like the weird, the occult, all that quirkiness would probably lend itself well to reading that, because
Cool.
it got a real True Detective season 1 vibe.
I don't know if you guys
Yeah.
knew this about me, but I'm pretty into
So
True
readable though.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say.
I know you
Jake's
love it.
favorite show.
I've
He just learned about it 5 minutes ago,
Yeah.
and now he loves it.
I've got season 1.
Yeah.
Gonna give it to you.
There you go.
Only eight episodes.
Only 8 episodes,
well,
dude.
I've got-
super quick,
Well,
super
I've got
good.
a few
You'll
more
like it.
episodes of Parenthood to finish.
No, dummy.
I've got 2 episodes of Daredevil to finish.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough.
A lot of Arrow, a lot of Flash, and a lot of Gotham.
Okay.
And Twin
Oh
Peaks.
my
oh,
God,
and Walking
dude.
Dead.
Let me. All right,
Lord.
real quick. I don't want to have a conversation about this. I just want to say this and move on. Don't watch Gotham. Just watch the last episode. You don't need it. You don't need all
How
that
do you
time.
know?
Because I've seen it.
You watched them all.
No, I watched the season finale. You really think there was just a gem in there in the last 6 episodes, and then the season finale was it was fine, but somewhere episode 12, God, it was just Citizen Kane. No, just watch the finale, figure out what happens, and
I
move
don't
on.
know. After I just list everything that
Let
I
'em-
needed to watch, I think
I'm surprised to
Right.
hear
like,
that.
okay, that'll work.
I know you said you didn't want to have a conversation about it. So.
Right. Anyway,
Anyway.
So anyway.
so anyway, I've been reading. Let me tell you what I've been
Hey,
reading.
Will, what have you been
now
reading,
comes
buddy?
The
Oh,
important
no
part.
one asked you.
You know what? Jake just did.
Oh, damn it.
sorry.
Joe, you
Damn
guess,
it, Jake.
you guess my first one. See if you can guess this one. What have I been reading? One of them you won't get. I got 2
Something
things.
religious.
But one you might. Sort of. All right.
The Quran.
Joe's thinking. I actually did read Surah 78 and 79 the other day.
You've been reading.
I did.
I don't know what you've been reading.
I've been
Punisher.
reading-
Hank the Cow Dog.
No, actually,
Punisher?
not Punisher. I was reading Punisher, but more recently, I've been reading Revival.
Nice.
Yeah, I jumped back into Revival, which is a comic book by Tim Seeley, and it's fun. It gives me it. If you like, you've read some of Revival, right?
Yeah, I read the first, I think, 2 trades.
Okay, yeah.
I've got 4 of them, but I
Okay.
haven't finished them.
Cool. Well, I checked out the 4th one from the library, so I should just take yours. But I've been reading
He'd
the
probably
4th
give it to
trade.
me if I wanted to read
Right,
it.
that's true. I've been reading the 4th trade, and it's good. It's like, for those who don't know, and Jake, I don't know if you know what Revival is, but it's
Don't.
like, Okay, it's like in a small town in Wisconsin, I think.
Yep,
and
it's where Tim Seeley's from. The same town,
right? Wasso or something like that. I don't know how to pronounce it. I know how it's spelled, but anyway, it takes place in this little small town, and it's like all snowy and it's always cold and everything. And it picks up the story picks up. Like either I forget how far afterward, but after this event that's happened, where for a day, everybody who died, or like who died the day before, or something like that, there was a day where a bunch of people came back to life.
I think it was like people who died on that.
People who died on
day.
that day came back on that day.
I don't think it was like
it didn't have to be within that year.
No, I
just
think
that day in
yeah.
history, no matter when.
That day, if you died,
is that
I think
right?
it's something like that. Nevertheless, it was from it wasn't like a whole year.
Very small.
It was just in this town.
And what are those people called?
They're called revivers.
Revivers,
in there.
yeah.
And so it's very genius in that it doesn't deal with the actual day. It just picks up after the day's happened.
Right.
And so it just follows all the sort of relationships between people.
Right. And in that sense, it's kind of like a more of a Walking Dead in the sense that it's not about that thing. It's about the relationships between the people and what happens. And
wait, so they stay alive. They don't die.
No,
again.
they stay alive.
No,
and actually, some of them can't die. After they've come back, they can't
not all
die. I forget. I'm not sure. I've left it for a while and I've just jumped back in.
But so it's not about like, okay, say it's like 1990, April 12th, and everybody come back to life that died on that day in April 12th, 1990? Or is it like April 12th throughout all the years?
No.
Anybody can come back.
One day. 24-hour period. Just in this town. Just in this town.
that day.
In that town.
You could have
come
the
back.
possibility of coming
You
back.
come back.
Everybody did.
You will
anybody
come back.
who died
Yes.
that day comes back.
They all come back. And so there's like a lot of like mistrust of revivers. So like people who have died, people are like, and there's even and this is kind of spoilerish, but I'm going to say it anyway.
It's fun.
There's even a thing where like people have been, like if you cut up survivors or revivers, excuse me, if you cut them up, obviously they don't stay alive. But people have been selling reviver meat for people to eat because there's like religious movements that start to believe.
Oh, wow, yeah.
They start to believe that if you eat their meat, then you'll have immortality or
That's
something.
cool.
It's really
as
good,
messed
man.
up as that is.
Yeah.
Like that's not that far off.
Yeah.
Something
Totally.
that would happen.
It's not like I can't believe these people. It's
Right.
like that'd probably happen.
Well, it's like in Walking Dead, like you meet cannibals and like
yeah, totally.
all that stuff.
So I've been reading that. That's one
That would
thing.
probably happen.
And then one other little thing that I want to give a shout out to is I've been doing a lot of
Honorable mention.
Honorable mention. I've been doing a little research into like the overlap between religion and science fiction because I study religion, whatever. And one of the I've been reading short stories, and I read a short story by Isaac Asimov where it's like this dystopian future where this one figurehead rules everything, sort of 1984 like. And I'm going to totally spoil this story, but it's only 3 pages long or something, so it's fine. But this guy who lives in this society gets in with this group of rebels who's like, okay, we're going to get you into... Nobody's ever seen the ruler's face. They just see him on this TV. And everybody sees him differently. They either see him as a mechanical thing, or they see him as like a big weird bird or something like that. And so this rebel group is like, okay, we're going to get you into one of his parties. You're going to see him face to face, and you're going to tell us what he really looks like so we can figure out how to deal with this. And he goes to this party, right? And he ends up having a conversation with the leader, and he finds out that the leader is, number 1, complete and total evil, and number 2 is God. It's crazy.
Nice.
It's the craziest thing ever.
That's cool.
He's like, yeah, I rule all of reality, and I'm completely evil, and I rule,
You're like, that explains a lot.
He's like, there is called out. But anyway, so he's like, there is literally no escape. There's no overthrowing me. Like all this stuff. It's so scary. It's so good. So anyway, just want to throw that out. I don't even remember the name of it, but
I love short stories.
It's Isaac Asimov. So yeah, there you go. That's what I've been reading. So
What about what have you been doing?
okay. I mean, whatever.
We're not there yet.
We're not. Do we want to do listening to real quick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Go for it. What have you been listening to, Joe?
I mine's a hybrid, and it's fresh off the Press,
Yeah.
which is I'm excited about.
Yeah.
Yesterday, Jake, I haven't been listening to this really. It's not like a band or something. So Jake and I yesterday was the 4th of July, Independence Day, America. And
favorite holiday.
Jake and I decided to go down to the waterfront, see what was happening, and the Louisville Orchestra played.
Yeah.
On the big bad stage down there, and I didn't know anything about the Louisville Orchestra. But in the last 24 hours, I've been doing a lot of kind of research because, like, the guy conducting from the crowd looked like super young, and like normally when you think of a conductor of a big orchestra in a city, old dudes. Like normally, if you want a conductor job, you have to wait for the other conductor to either do something terrible or die. You know what I mean?
Right.
Kind of like the Pope.
Yeah, it's that. Exactly.
Plus, totally infallible.
It's that kind of job.
Yeah.
Cardinals swear him in and everything.
So I mean, they played they had Ben Sollee come up and do like 3 songs with them. So it was Ben Sollee and his drummer.
Yeah.
With
Oh man.
And a full orchestra.
Yeah.
A full orchestra backing.
Yeah.
Which was fantastic.
That's amazing.
1200. The rapper, and
Hip-hop.
he had two kind of like classically trained opera singers with him,
so
and then
good,
and
dude.
then
Oh, that's
two
cool.
and then somebody like a DJ, and then another guy playing synth.
Yeah. Oh, that's
with
cool.
the full orchestra backing.
Yeah.
And then another guy, I forget his name, but he had a really nice voice.
Cool.
And so I've been looking this up.
Joshua Claiborne.
The conductor, his name's Teddy Abrams. And he's a 27-year-old guy, younger than me.
Crazy.
He's conducting. He's the head director of the Louisville Orchestra, and he's been basically just tearing up social media. For the orchestra the last about the last year.
Yeah.
And
That's amazing.
There's a web series. It's called "Music Makes a City Now." And there's 8 episodes up, and the first episode is about him moving to Louisville.
Oh, really?
The rad house that he's bought. He's got this house.
Yeah.
It's full of organs and pianos.
Yeah.
Wood floors, lots of light. He's always having musicians from out of town come and
man.
jam there, like parties there and stuff.
So this is just about him, like the web series follows him? That's so cool.
It follows him and his trip to becoming this thing. And
that's
apparently,
amazing.
I looked a little bit up about him. Like when he was 11 years old, he was like going to school for music in college.
Yeah.
And when
That's
he was
crazy.
In 2005, he was 17, and he was like known as this. He was playing these crazy Beethoven things on the piano, and now he's.
That's amazing.
He's if not the youngest, one of the youngest
and it's
composers.
neat because well, I'm glad that he kind of dips his hand into all those different things because it's cool to have something atypical like that.
Yeah.
It gives a different flavor.
That's true.
to-
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, I mean, I've seen the Nashville Orchestra, and they're phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly,
They're great.
anytime you see a live orchestra, you're moved.
Yeah.
But when you have somebody like that who's young and is sort of in touch with the things that maybe it's because I would consider him a peer and whatever.
Right.
That's kind of interesting.
Yeah,
and it's good
It gives
too.
it a different
Get a beer
facet.
together with this guy.
Totally.
And it wouldn't be weird because he's our age.
Right. It would just be weird
Oh,
because
come
he's so
on.
much smarter than
It's
me.
not weird to have a beer with older people
But,
either.
one thing he mentioned in the I've already watched all 8 episodes. They're like
I knew you'd do that.
like 6 to 10 minutes a piece. Took me an hour to watch them.
Yeah.
But he one thing he said was, music is music, and he and his peers, the guys he went to school with, developed a rule early on that was, if we like it, we play it.
Yeah.
So
I like that.
That's great.
that's the the criteria for the music.
Yeah.
And I mean, the Louisville Orchestra just did a thing at Iroquois Amphitheater, which was a complete tribute to Journey.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I heard about that.
That's so cool.
Last night,
That would have
cool.
been fabulous.
they played John Williams' Star Wars theme.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's
It's just
so cool.
It's a super cool thing. I'm really excited
Oh, is that
about.
what woke me up from my nap?
Yeah. That's what
Okay.
woke you up. Yeah.
Oh, that scared the shit out of me. So well done, Louisville Orchestra.
Yeah, good
You
job.
woke me up efficiently.
Yeah.
But being like the
It was very scary at the time.
It was on a video on my phone.
But I'm
Anyway.
sure it would have
Yeah.
been.
Yeah.
for me being the music nerd that I am, like it's just exciting to see somebody so young and innovative and so like in tune and
Uh-huh.
active
Yeah.
here.
Yeah,
Like,
I know.
for sure. In
I'm-
our city.
I'm
Yeah,
so
definitely.
excited that that's happening here.
I know. Yeah,
Mhm.
for sure. And I mean, as Maggie was saying, that does sort of set it apart, right? I mean, because usually you have an older guy with tons and tons and tons of
Right.
experience, and here you have. I mean, I'm sure he has tons of experience, but
This young
a young
But
dude,
he also can
Yeah.
offer something different. Like he's
Exactly, yeah,
maybe
yeah.
not as
Like-
afraid to sort of be more innovative.
Right, he came out.
Mm.
It was me and Joe was talking last night, and it was just like he was a rock star.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
there.
he has this wild, crazy curly hair.
He was
His
wearing
arm
like a
was
striped T-shirt.
Yeah. Nice.
just waving his.
That's amazing.
His one arm is in a sling. I saw him walking around Nulu the other day.
Yeah.
oh,
in
yeah.
front of where I work.
But
Yeah,
also
yeah.
another thing, like he's he's trying to plant seeds all over the city. So
Uh-huh.
like he's really involved with like the Speed Museum as well.
Yeah.
Just trying to, I don't know, breathe a little life into the city.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
it's,
awesome.
Excites me.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, me
exciting.
too. That's great.
No, yeah, he's going to do something crazy. There's a partnership with Speed. When we reopen, he's going to partner with us to create something. We're going to be open 30 hours continuously, and during that 30-hour period, we're going to partner with like the Louisville Orchestra, the ballet. I mean,
That's
it's going to be
cool.
pretty
You
awesome.
You
Like
heard
just
it
like a
first.
telethon.
So like around the clock. And then this is public knowledge. So it's
I don't
cool.
think I think it was breaking news.
This just in.
This is Maggie Reed reporting from Butchertown Pub Studios that the local Speed is gonna. Yeah, but for real though, it's gonna be really neat.
It's cool.
Yeah,
I'm jazzed.
I'm also jazzed.
I'm ballet.
No,
Tight.
you just coined a phrase.
So you heard it first today. We're gonna track down this Teddy Abrams guy and try to get him on the podcast.
That would be amazing.
Mm-hmm. So that's what I
I'll
haven't been.
text him.
So that's why I said I haven't been listening to the
Jake's gonna
orchestra
text.
because it's not like I've been shelling out a bunch of money to go to the orchestra. They're out of season, but heard them last night and I've just been excited about it ever since.
But I am going to shell out some money to go see the orchestra come September
Yeah,
Totally.
I would like to
because
do
it
that
is
too.
worth it.
Yeah,
I don't
well,
know if I can get season passes because I'm sure
It's pretty
they're a
expensive,
little
like-
expensive.
But
It's
so
like
good.
I think
Let's do the math though.
for
However
about
much
for about $200 you get 10 concerts.
Well, that's not that
So
bad.
it's not that bad. But
20
it's-
bucks.
It's yeah, like $20, but it's like they're sold in packages. So
But
you
if
can
you
either
paid
buy
$200
5 or
to go
buy
to 10,
Right.
That sounds pretty good.
And they have like they have classical packages to where like they're more traditional classical music.
Yeah.
They have pop packages which are like different
Wow.
kinds of tributes. Like on Halloween or in October,
Ooh.
they're doing like a spooky.
I know, like, okay, so Teddy Abrams, the same guy, is going to recreate the score of Nosferatu, the old movie. Basically, the score has been lost. So he's going to totally recreate it, and they're going to, with the Speed, partner and show that, and he's going to recreate the score.
Is that?
Yeah,
It's gonna.
that'd be
They did.
amazing.
They
He's
did
going
one
to
back with.
recreate a lost score.
Right.
Well,
right.
the cool thing is that so we did
Jesus.
this. We did this with Metropolis. The Speed did it with Metropolis, where they recreated the score, and this composer played live on the organ during the entire 2+ hour movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Performed live with the movie. It was fucking badass. There's no other way to say this. And 2 hours performing.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's
Yeah,
incredible.
yeah.
That's cool.
And
It
it
is.
was epic because you could watch the movie and you could see him in the background, kind of like, I mean, he was Beethoven
Just
it back
going wild.
there. Yeah,
Yeah.
going
Well,
wild.
That's cool.
And
is
so,
cool.
yeah, Teddy Abrams is going to do that for Nosferatu.
Oh, that'd be
Everybody
amazing.
loves that scary movie.
Well,
Oh,
what's
yeah.
interesting about Metropolis is that it's a silent movie, and it wasn't until somewhat recently
Yeah.
that a lot of lost footage was found,
Oh, right,
cut,
right,
and
right.
put together.
Right.
So a lot of up and coming film composers will use Metropolis as
Yeah.
because there's no sound.
Yeah.
You create the mood.
So good.
Yeah.
So it's a good, I guess,
Oh
exercise.
man, and
Yeah,
that really,
very cool.
like,
That's
I've
cool.
seen Metropolis, and then when I saw it with like the Cine concert, it totally redefined.
Yeah.
or
Totally.
it made it more like coherent. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You take a lot of clues from the music in movies,
Yeah. Music's an afterthought. Audio's an afterthought a lot of times, and
but it really
people don't realize that.
it's so influential. It doesn't need to be an
It
afterthought.
defines the emotion a lot of times.
Right, I
Yeah.
mean,
It's subconscious. You
Sure.
hear it, and it affects your mood.
Yeah.
Twin Peaks, great example.
Right. Yeah.
They only have
Totally.
one continuous little, what is it, like couple minutes of music that they
Right.
reuse throughout the whole season. They don't. There's nothing totally different. It's just the same thematic music, and it kind of informs you.
Well, see, like you have composers and film composers. If you have a composer come in to score a film that doesn't know much about film, they're not excited about film, and they're not filmmakers, then they're not going to do the film justice.
Yeah.
Like that, a lot of people I follow, like different composers, like kind of mid-level composers that still do like the podcasts and like the web series and stuff. The thing they always say is a film composer is a filmmaker who works in music.
Yeah.
And a composer is a composer.
Someone
Just
who
makes
makes
music.
makes
That makes
music.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if you can't,
pretty cool.
service the picture
Yeah.
and tell the story that's being told,
Yeah.
then you're not doing your job.
Right. Right.
So,
Jake, we come to you, my man.
I don't listen to music.
Okay, short enough. Maggie? No, just kidding.
Let's see. I
just went.
it's the last
Oh,
thing
you just
that
went?
I've been
No,
listening
not really.
to was Sublime.
Okay, right.
I'm just going to interrupt
Rage
Jake a lot
Against the
because he
Machine.
interrupted me. So
Yeah, right.
I keep it's interesting. You're
sorry,
not
I
very
won't do
good
it
at
anymore.
I'm not very good at it. At
Sublime.
interrupting me. I just interrupted myself. What do you think about that?
There you go.
Meta.
Yes, Sublime, Rage Against the Machine,
Nice.
and some Taking Back Sunday because they're coming to Louisville August 8th, and I'm just pumping myself up.
August 8th.
I just heard about that. I'm very excited. That'll be fun.
Yep.
That'll be fun to do.
I want to say that their self-titled album was the first album that I ever listened to where I didn't listen to anything but that album for like 3 months straight.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Like in high school.
Uh-huh.
Like when I first
Yeah.
got my car.
Wait,
I
their
had a-
self-titled album?
No, the first one.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Tell all your friends.
Tell
or
all your
something.
friends,
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
It,
Yeah.
I just
The one with
whatever
Your
that
Soul
was.
Last Summer on
burn
Whatever
through
that
it.
was, I don't know.
Oh,
That's all I listened to in my car. That's it.
Yeah. Yep.
All summer.
That'll be fun.
I can't do that anymore. I'm too old.
Yeah.
But I can still get super psyched about watching them live.
Yeah, for sure.
Dude, I'm going to be a kid again. It's going to be so much fun.
I'm excited about it. That'll be really...
You'll hear this podcast when you're like 50 and be like, I thought I was being a kid again, but I was still a kid.
That's future Jake. Sounds a lot like Maggie, but that's future Jake.
But like me, but like different accent.
Right.
Or maybe not.
Really? Just the accent?
I don't know. I
Otherwise you
rarely
have-
hear myself.
Otherwise, you have Jake's voice. Wait.
We
I
sound the
thought I was a
same.
kid, but then I was a kid then.
I really
You
don't
are-
like this.
All right,
you
you
trying to make
are-
an impression of me.
You are that rooster from Looney Tunes.
You can do an
apparently.
impression of me if you want.
Foghorn
No,
Leghorn.
I'm
I'll
just
say it, I'll say it,
25
I'll
and
say
I
it.
haven't lived.
Maggie?
Oh, is that me?
Maggie?
No, that's what everybody says when you're like,
Fortunately,
I feel like I'm a kid
I
again.
keep
Oh, you're
my
still
feathers
a
number
kid.
for such an emergency.
That was like the inner city Foghorn Leghorn.
It was, yeah.
I'm not a chicken, I'm a chicken hawk.
Maggie,
I'm a chicken house.
what are you listening to?
Okay, what am I listening to?
You can pass.
Well, no, I don't want to pass because
Okay.
I have been listening to things.
Okay, all right, yeah,
well,
get it.
at first I'd like to preface this by saying, usually, I work in the public sphere,
Uh-huh.
and I
thought you
very
said
much
public fear.
I
Yeah.
work in
She
the
calls
public
this
sphere.
public fear.
I
She
work
calls
in
them
the
bomb
public
threats.
sphere.
Right.
I don't though,
Yeah.
but I do live in the public sphere, and I also have roommates.
Sphere.
Yeah, right.
I can't not hear public
Sphere.
sphere anymore.
Nope.
Public sphere. I do.
Public
work-
I live
sphere.
in the public sphere.
That's what I'm saying.
See, I heard sphere that time.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, no, but I live in the public sphere.
S-P-H-E-R-E.
Oh Lord. Anybody else would have gotten that.
That's how you spell it.
Okay.
Spah.
But anyway, so I work in the public sphere. And so when I get to have like a moment of silence, I cherish that moment.
Right.
When I'm in my car, I used to like want to immediately turn on music or a podcast.
So you've been listening to
I'm
silence?
already relishing the fact that like, shh, please don't put a hip hop beat.
Come on.
That was
Wait, did you say that's right? I said everybody is dead.
and that's right. I said you will bring your head. That's what I
love
heard.
that,
Yeah, I said all of those
I
things.
love that that's your immediate impression of rap music. That's it.
No, that was just Joe doing a little hip hop
That's just
freestyle.
my
true.
style.
That's
It's not
just
an
your thing,
impression.
man. Yeah.
Have you
It's
seen
not an impression.
Shia LaBeouf freestyling on the internet?
Yes, we have. I just tried to use my mic cord as a whip. It didn't work. But anyway,
what have you been listening to?
yeah, well, I will say, I'll preface it by saying I very much enjoy silence.
I've been listening to this band called the Public Sphere. It's a deathcore.
Right.
That's a great name for a band, actually.
Totally.
The
Thanks.
Public Sphere.
It is.
It's like a circle, but it's 3D.
Right.
But then I've been doing a lot of throwback, like, it might not be throwback to some people, but for me it is. Like Fiona Apple.
Totally.
That's somebody who, if I'm stuck in a rut, I just listen to whatever she's doing. And
her cover of Across the Universe is
Yeah, it's mind-blowing.
wild.
Yep.
well, really anything she does is wild.
Just that.
Just that one.
That's all.
Everything else sucks.
Oh, well,
I didn't really like that song Ironic that she did. So
stop.
What
Anyway,
about,
yeah.
have you been listening to any,
I'm trying to think
you
what
may or may
else.
not have heard of this artist, but Jerry Mungo? Or
You mean
Jerry?
Mungo Jerry?
Whatever.
In the summertime when the weather's
No.
right.
No, that's the other song.
Yeah. Every
In
song.
the summertime when you I'm even doing it in his voice. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
In the summertime when the weather is right. It's like some kind of, I don't know, he's jazzy.
Hey, Maggie.
Hey.
That was really good.
Thank you.
Really good impersonation.
I pride myself on my impersonations.
All right, Will.
That
I knew
laughter
that.
in my voice should tell you that
Yes,
no.
sir.
So what else have you been listening to, Maggie?
Podcasts. Podcasts. When I go on a run, I also maybe I just don't like to listen to shit anymore. I burned myself out when I was
Right.
young with like
Your ears
crazy
are done.
like metal and
I can
punk
relate to
rock
that
music.
completely.
Yeah.
I want silence. So like when I listen to stuff,
My
it's
stamina.
either gonna be like the radio. I've been listening to a lot of like the 105.1 throwback hip hop. I'm sorry if it's
Oh,
not
is
the
that
right
not
radio
awesome?
station because it's programmed into my number 2.
I think you're right.
So I don't
think you
know.
Yeah.
You're number
Ooh, that's
2.
gross.
You know I'm on radio.
High five, Joe.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice
Lord.
number 2 joke.
It's programmed into my second slot of my radio. So
I'll just-
when I'm just feeling sassy and I'm in traffic and I'm a little angry, I just put that one on.
I'll
I'll
just
just
number
say,
2.
And then
I'll
it'll
just
be
say
like
that number 2
it'll be like
jokes
Nelly, like
are
in the
programmed
club
into
on the
my
late night,
personality.
feeling right, looking try to spot something
So.
real nice. That's all.
So old hip hop and Fiona Apple is what I've got.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that and like I'll listen to podcasts like.
Yeah.
Anything of NPR. I
Any
listen to
particular
the,
podcast?
not the villain
Right,
district.
yeah,
Yeah, any
But I did
particular
listen
podcast? You gotta
to
get your listeners
I
to
did
listen
listen to
more.
a Girl Gone Geek. I did listen to a Nerdstalgia.
There you go.
Yeah, those are good.
And when I was running last week, I listened to the Villain District on the Run.
There you go.
Whoa, wow.
Oh, watch out.
At the
Episode 20.
episode
City Comic-Con,
20
yeah,
at
yeah.
Derby City Comic Con.
That was a good one. That was a
And
good
that
one.
was very entertaining. I liked it. It kept me. It was enough of like a change every
Uh-huh.
now and then. When I'm running, I typically don't like to listen to anything because I get distracted.
Right.
But this was enough. Like it was just a
Yeah.
good beat. It was like a
Lots of-
transition
yeah.
every few minutes, so it kept me interested. So I would recommend that
So
to
what
any
you're
other
saying is that
fellow
really
runners.
that really is like the perfect podcast. It sounds like. I mean,
Honestly, I really
I've
liked
never
it, and
listened
I
to it.
really particularly
But-
liked with Brian Barrow. He was so complimentary
He's-
of you guys, and he was just
Even if he wasn't
so
complimentary,
nice. No,
Yeah.
no, no.
he is so funny.
He is funny.
I'm
He's so
getting
funny.
to that. He was just funny, easy to listen to, and also seems like a really super nice guy.
Why don't you
Who-
marry him already?
I'm
he actually
already
did. We were at the Bardstown the other night.
promised to someone else.
We were at the Bardstown the other night, and he was like, oh, hey, Will, and he was like, is your girlfriend here tonight? And I was like, you don't need to worry about that, Brian.
The
You
answer
just
is-
do not need to worry about
the
whether
answer
she's
is
here
yes.
or not.
He said he was
So-
having to break it off with Tip. or
Right,
something
exactly.
like that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
seriously though, that was really easy to listen to because had sort of a rapport.
Right.
That, I mean, I wasn't thinking about running, and that's an achievement.
That's an achievement.
Totally.
Yeah, I was thinking about what is going on with the Villain District podcast.
There you go.
Going around that, and also the creator of the con was super interesting.
Chuck Moore.
Hey, can I?
I started to say Chuck Moore.
He didn't create it.
Nope. Bought it.
He bought it.
Ran it.
From a guy who created it.
Made it bigger.
Oh.
Then sold
Apparently,
it.
you didn't listen to the.
Well, I was
You
running,
were
so I was
thinking about
trying not to
running.
trip over all the
So.
cracks in Cherokee Road.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, he's a cool dude. Really cool dude.
Yep.
He seems like he's got a lot of irons in the fire, so that was pretty cool too.
Hey,
He's got a lot of cough drops in the fire.
And,
Callback. Now that's a callback, son.
Well done.
and-
Speaking of cough
and
drops,
also
That was an hour ago.
that's my new like motivational thing. Like I need to have a lot of cough drops in the fire.
yeah, and
That's
so
something
does
I can
Will.
relate to.
So, Will,
Yeah.
what cough drops have you been listening to lately?
Mostly a Halls. No, I've been listening to, my listening to will be real quick. I've been listening to tons of podcasts, way too many as per usual. You know,
What else is new?
What else is new? I listen to too many podcasts. Anyway, without mentioning any particular podcast, lots of them. And then also, one of my favorite bands just came out with a new record, and I've been listening to it. They're called Me Without You.
I knew
And
you were going to
You
say
knew
that.
I was going to
Why
say
don't
it,
you just
but
marry him
dude,
already?
I would if they lived close
There's
enough.
like 5 of
because-
them. He can't be a polygamist.
Because now
in
there's
Utah again or something like that?
Oh
Oh, God,
super.
please.
Oh man. Okay. But I could definitely pick my favorite guy. I
You
could
hear
pick
that,
my favorite
Supreme
guy.
Court? We're calling you out.
Calling you out, Supreme Court. I could pick my favorite guy, and we could get married anywhere we wanted and live anywhere we wanted.
He's
'cause
already
now,
married though.
How do you know who it is? Maybe it's not
'Cause
that one.
I know it's Aaron Weiss.
Well, maybe. Okay.
and he's married.
You're divorced, Aaron Weiss. I love you. Anyway.
Here's the thing,
No,
though.
don't tell him that.
Okay.
If you
I
married
hope you
him
live happily
and
ever
he
after.
like provided for you,
Sure.
he'd
Right.
provide food out of a dumpster for you.
That is true.
It won't be that bad.
Right. Anyway.
If you find the
He
right
eats out
Trader
of a
Joe's,
dumpster?
you can eat well.
He used to when they
That's
were on
true.
tour. He used to eat out of dumpsters and not buy any food. Anyway,
Jake, don't look so surprised. You can find perfectly good food in there.
Well, why don't you go do that then?
I used to, motherfucker.
It's
I
a
don't know
statement
about
on it's the fact
Seriously.
that businesses waste so much food, and it's perfectly good food that just gets thrown away.
right.
Exactly.
Oh, so I guess you strategically plan this to where
You
you
don't
like, go
just
out-
eat anything out of a dumpster.
Yeah,
look
you
for
do
food that's
you
edible.
do
You're right.
strategically
I
plan
don't
it.
eat
Yeah.
anything out of a dumpster.
No. See, you're right. You do have to have a strategy, and you go when you know they're going to throw stuff away.
Right.
You'll call. And here's what you do: you call the corporation and say, "Hey, when do you get a new truck in?" Because they'll want to. They'll think you're just trying to get there to get like a super new shipment. But what you do is go the night before, and that's when you get the goodies that aren't bad, but they say they are.
So
Which
And
we went after donuts one time, and the donuts they threw out all got completely annihilated and crushed and smushed against the side of the dumpster, and it was a really, really hard time in my life.
Wait, so you went after donuts in a dumpster once?
Mm-hmm. Dude, they throw them
they're
away.
closed up.
They throw them away in boxes.
yeah.
And they all fell out of the box?
Yeah, they had been.
But here's
smushed.
another good thing to dumpster dive for: plants. You don't have to eat those, but they'll throw those things away.
See, now
Like,
that
and
I
they
could
start
get
to
behind.
like barely wilt. And anybody who has plants knows that doesn't matter. You can bring them back to life.
Well,
Yeah.
Fun stuff. I don't know. For me. What have you been doing lately, Maggie?
Long story.
Well, gardening.
There you go. Long story short, Pale Horses by Me Without You. Done. That's it. That's what I've been listening to.
New album.
What was short about that?
I just that part. That
Oh,
last
so you're
part.
saying like, let me talk about it again and
let me
make it
let me
short
bring
again.
it up one more time.
Now,
Short.
Now
Once
that
you
you,
said
now
me
that I already
without
said the
we-
long story, let's
Two
make
short
the next
ones.
story short.
That's right. That's right.
Well, I tried to say that I listened to Silence for like 5 times. And
Right.
We wouldn't allow that.
No.
I know. I couldn't finish
I wish
it.
I was listening to silence.
Actually,
during that.
the thing you have to understand is that you're speaking on a medium that's only audio.
Right.
They
That's
can fast forward.
to silence.
And
To
silence,
Yeah.
Let's give a moment of silence.
silence is just turning it off.
Can you give a moment of silence for me?
we don't.
No? Okay.
We gave a moment of silence for them to say the killer of Laura Palmer earlier, so I feel like that's enough silence.
Actually, no,
I don't remember that.
the
part
last
of
moment
the
of
podcast,
moment of silence we had was the death
wasn't that long
of Leonard.
ago.
Leonard Nimoy. Yeah, we did do that.
Oh, well then, no, we don't need it.
Nothing
that was
has
a worthy
died.
moment of silence.
Anybody got a miscellaneous to throw out? What you been into miscellaneous?
I already said gardening.
I got one, but I'm gonna save it.
Your
go ahead,
cocktails.
What?
You go ahead.
Here's my
Give me a minute to
miscellaneous.
think about it.
I want to throw out a local miscellaneous because this is, I guess technically I listened to it, but I was there for it. So my miscellaneous, and Maggie was there too because we went together, and you were there too because we all went together. Joe was not there. I'm sorry.
I wasn't there.
Was the one man show by Ronan Hirschberg
Oh God, dude,
called
that was so
Self
good.
Helpless.
That was
So
going to be my
funny.
miscellaneous.
That was it? Because too
You
bad.
can share.
No, I forgot.
We can all share. We were all there.
Yeah, we were all there. We
All
can
right.
share
Yeah,
one.
we were
All
all
right,
there.
Joe was
Joe
there.
wasn't there.
It was really funny though. It was good, and they're
He
coming.
was there in my heart.
He's going to release. The Pixel Brain folks are going to do a video of it.
Dude,
so
and rightfully so. They need to
Yeah.
sell that to Netflix because he's better than a lot
of
of
people that are on
Yeah,
there, and
that
I will
is
second
I'm
that.
not even saying that lightly.
no, that is
No,
actually
no.
true.
Who
They're,
did we watch
Yeah.
the other day? Are we allowed to call
He's
people
much
out?
funnier.
Yeah, the guy with the hat.
Sure.
Ralphie.
If we're not going to meet Ralphie May,
Dude, he's not good.
Ralphie May.
Whatever
You know
his
what?
newest thing
He's
is.
funny on some stuff.
His
know what?
newest one is just like.
yeah, I spent an hour watching that the other day, and I was like, it was just an hour of me being like, well.
It
is
was
that-
like I was
like,
laughing because I felt sorry for him.
I was like, is
there
that
was-
racist?
And then I don't have
That's
to.
what I did at
No, it's
Renan
very
Hirschberg's
racist.
show.
It was, yeah.
Just
Wait,
because I felt sorry for him. Just kidding. No, it was extremely
Yeah,
funny,
no, it
and
was
I loved
extremely
it, and
good.
I paid for it.
Dude,
Right.
He
So,
kept
yes.
me going. He
Obviously,
kept
I
me
am a
laughing.
fan.
Yeah.
And then the guy before him, Sean
Smith, dummy.
Smith.
Ciaon.
Ciaon.
That's good.
Yeah, Sean Smith.
It's the
He is
English
hilarious
spelling.
too, dude.
Yeah, dude's
Yeah,
funny.
he's
All
super
those guys,
hilarious.
it's a
They're both
7, 8,
very
9
polished.
show are really good.
They
Right.
don't. They've totally got it down to a science.
So that's my
They're polished, their
miscellaneous
act.
is specifically the one man show though. It was very good. Had a theme. Came back.
It was
came back around.
extremely
It was-
well
It was polished,
laid
man.
out.
It was polished. Yeah,
He
so-
nailed it, dude.
And you'll get to
So
see
it
it,
came-
even though you weren't in town. You
It
get
came
to see
full
it.
I'll get to
circle.
see it.
You'll get to
And
see
you'll
it.
get to see us up front, maybe. Huh?
Actually, I've heard through some sources that at least me and Maggie will be seen in that video.
Well,
so.
because
To which I said, "Oh,
what did he say? He said something to Maggie.
yeah, he
he
did.
did."
Oh,
he
wait,
asked
am
me
I
about.
don't know if I need to repeat what
you
he
do
said.
whatever you want,
He
man.
he pointed to me and said, "You are you married?" And I showed him my left hand, and he was like, "The other hand" or something. I forget.
I
But
don't
anyway, it turned into like me jerking Will off somehow. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. He goes, what does that mean? You just jerk him off?
It
What
was-
does that mean? You're just jerking him off?
He was fast on his feet.
And I was like, "Oh man, that was so fast."
yeah.
But at the end of the day, yes.
That was quick.
But
Yeah. Joe,
Sorry you couldn't be there, Joe. You look real
I was
Yeah,
depressed.
you get
literally-
to have a miscellaneous all to yourself, though. That's the upside.
You get
we
to
were
share it
literally
with
in the
yourself.
first row, so we were an easy target.
You get to have a miscellaneous all to yourself. Whatever you want. It's
No
like your birthday,
pressure.
sort of.
No one gets to help you with it, like we just helped each other with this one.
We were all there.
All
Right.
yourself.
Or you can pass.
So
First pass of the evening.
I will say that my family, my immediate family,
yeah.
are big Joss Whedon fans,
Right.
and sure, I am too.
Yeah.
But there was a time where I was away in a van,
Mhm.
and my family was somewhere together watching Firefly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've seen bits and pieces of Firefly,
Mm-hmm.
but I've never actually seen it as a whole.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just started it.
Nice.
Really enjoy it so far.
There you go. Yeah, it's like a space cowboy.
Way to bring
Very
in
good.
another category into your miscellaneous
Very good.
category.
Thanks, man.
Mm.
Yeah, well played.
What have you been watching? Part 2.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not miscellaneous, but you know,
Yeah.
Oh, so it has to be.
No, it's good. It's good.
I'm just teasing.
Honorable mention.
Um,
I'm just
Honorable
teasing you.
mention. I want to throw in a couple of things. This has been fun. Thank you guys for being here.
Hey, man.
Thanks for the
You're welcome.
I was already going to
Not
be
you.
here, so
You have to be here.
You're welcome
I'll
for
come
being here.
boost the
You
listening
have
on your
to.
podcast anytime.
it was either like
have to.
oh,
You guys,
I'll pay
thank
for
you.
this.
it was like you were
Um,
going to give me a mic, or I would have been over there laying on a couch.
You've
That's
been saying the
basically
same
what I
thing.
was doing, too.
Right, exactly.
So they were like, "Oh yeah."
Well, I want to plug a couple of things before we get out of here. I want to plug. We have a show, Villain District. Your hosts, the voices you hear that bring you the news that you love. I don't know. Anyway,
That's okay.
BS.
July 31st, we're playing with Technicolor Steamboat at Mag Bar, so be there for that. It'll be fun.
And
It'll be
Technicolor
a
Steamboat
blasty,
is Austin and Brandon, who
Right.
you had on
And
the
Will's
podcast
behind
previously.
the first
We had
round
Austin
for
on.
everyone.
Okay. Come on out to Mag Bar on the July 31st, and then on August 7th at 4 o'clock, we are playing the Driftwood Music Festival, also here in Louisville, so be on the lookout for that as well.
Gosh, you guys
I
are
want to throw those
you
in.
guys are getting out there.
We're just really blowing up right
It's
now.
really, yeah, dude, we're blowing up.
That's
Let
like
me
a
just
Where's
tell
the
you.
ton of free
Driftwood
shows
Music
you're playing.
Festival?
Dude, I blew up on Periscope. Is that a thing? Can you do that?
I don't know what that is.
I don't know, but it was a meme. All
Here's
right.
the thing: you just really keep talking about Periscope a lot, and it's getting weird.
Can you tell me where the Driftwood Music Festival is?
Nope, not right now. Look it up, everybody. Google it. All right.
That's why. Okay.
All right. It's Louisville, Kentucky. That's where it is. Okay, everybody.
Okay, I'll take that,
All right.
actually.
Well,
Joe-
can I take a guess that it would be down
Yeah.
at the riverfront though?
You
'Cause
can guess
Driftwood-
that. You can guess it.
Driftwood.
Sure, let's guess that together. We're going to both have to Google
Everybody
it.
show up August 7th down to the river.
Well, yeah.
No, don't do that. Just wait or
Joe?
Google it.
You done good.
Oh.
You're not good, Jake.
You done good, Maggie.
You done good, Will.
Everybody done good.
I
Everybody
didn't want to
did.
say Goodwill.
Yeah, Goodwill.
Everybody did done.
Everyone done good.
Number 2.
That's right, I said everybody is hey, you better go, 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 hey, you better go.